Yeah.
Session 39. My name is Jacob, and I'm here with a bunch of idiots, and they are the best people I've got. I'm joined here by Alpha, James, Suzanne, and of course Helminia, and we're here to play some D&D 5th edition.
Who cares if I'm a toxic bitch? You had fun, didn't you?
All right, how many D10 do I have here?
I guarantee I own more than you.
I guarantee it too. I have
only
like
got two.
a couple sets.
When I first, I'll tell you a
I gotta
story
pull
really
them
quick
out
before
of
the
my
recap.
bag.
When I bought my dice
Tell
off
your
of
story.
Amazon, I bought like this. I went by the pattern and it was really pretty, right? And later on, as I was looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute, this is not a set of 7. It was a 10 set of D10s.
Whoa.
I did not buy a full polyhedral set. I bought 10 D10s.
Oh God.
So I believe at this time, counting all the sets that I have, because I believe I have 15 sets of dice, counting also my percentage
Someone's
dice,
screaming outside.
I own 40 D10s.
No. No.
So, make of that what you will.
I don't want to make anything of that.
Start the recap.
No. Okay.
I can hear
Losing
that.
their minds outside.
Someone's dying. out
Ignore.
there. Holy shit.
It's white, y'all. They're just recreating the thing from Lion King. It's fine.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
don't worry
exactly
about
what they're doing.
all right.
College is whack, guys. Don't ever go.
Well, okay, sounds good.
Okay.
You think I can afford that shit
Damn.
in this economy?
In this day and age,
in this economy, you expect me to be able to go to college? Absolutely. All right.
I can't afford both college and my alcoholism. One or the other. I can't.
You have to choose. So, when we last left off, to get back into the recap, you all, once slaying Selmath, the bird keeper in Foremount, you all reconvened, collected yourselves, and as you were searching the remainder of her house, you discovered that people were coming to her aid a little late. Among them, the general was one of them, a large Goliath man who wielded an extra large morning star. As you all tried to make your escape, you saw that you were cut off and decided eventually to fight. In the ensuing battle, Mordak and Elise eventually came to help you. Whether you believe they were helpful or not, you all at the very least survived. With this battle now under your, in the past and behind you, you all reconvened, deposited the children that you recovered from Selmath's house that were all unconscious at another resistance place, and took the 3 conscious ones, including Elise's daughter, back to the resistance place where you all were. Once you were there, you were all beginning to bed down after a long and hard day, when Rem decided to get on a broom and do some reconnaissance, specifically of the wagon, the cart. They're precious. Upon flying back, they saw that a man with a long whip trailing the side was camping out very close to Rem's cart with a sizable cart of his own, with 2 large bestial oxen pulling it along and several other tents there. With this information, Rem decided to head back and, be it clunky, snuck back to the resistance hideout. And with that, you all decided to bed down, and Rem, being a little uncomfortable, maybe a bit unsure of themselves, decided to cast, right at the end, Guardian of Faith. And I do want a slight clarification, by the way. where did you want to put that in relation to the actual place? Like, the entire, like, hideout, it doesn't cover. There's the door that you all have entered in. There's the mine door. There's the center of the room. Do you just want it next to you? I do.
He's not here right now.
Shit. Don't worry about that. God damn it, how many of you leave the second it goes? Son of a bitch. But with that being said, the rest of you begin to bed down for the night, kind of scraping yourselves off for a rough day and choosing your cots. Just because I felt like it. I made you guys, since you were all complaining, a little map.
Hey, battle map.
So-
Wait, no.
Battle map?
No, this is just a map.
Battle map.
Battle map. Wait,
Battle map.
Of
that's a
the
weird looking
beds.
battle map.
There are cots for you guys. The door to the bottom of the map is the door that you all enter through. The door at the top is the like the tunnel that they're trying to build to the catacombs. And among the cots, there are 5 left, and there are 4 of you. I'd like all of you to choose a cot, if you would be so kind.
Is this a box?
That is a chest.
Uh,
not a
box.
cot.
Suna.
This one's mine.
Now we're already having problems.
You know what? Nah, me and Suna are gonna cuddle for the night.
Ooh.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm
Romance
going over here. Fuck you.
Romance.
How much weight can these cots support? How much movement?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Enough for like me and
Go.
Suna to have fun time?
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna physically recover from that one.
Never make a battle map with cots in it again.
I've made cots with like king size beds in them, and you guys haven't done this shit. Don't
Wait,
blame
what
me.
is
Well, now
this?
we are.
That
What
is
is
that
this?
is Rem's Guardian of Faith.
Oh.
It looks like a weird rock.
You're a weird rock.
Maybe we should start feeling it and see if it's a fake door or something.
Sure.
Fake wall? Question mark?
As Rem casts this, Gil, if you're feeling it, make an investigation check.
No, I'm already in bed. I've already laid down.
I can't cast my tiny hut. There's not enough room.
No.
Oh,
No.
Poor Zexy. Poor Zex.
I guess I could. Sooner you only get half a cot. If I cast it from right here, it's perfect. It encompasses
short.
my entire cot. Suna can have half a cot, and no one can use the chest.
Hopefully there's nothing important in there.
You cutting the
This
chest
is
in
pretty
half?
short.
You cutting the chest in half? Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, I could.
This was just never mind.
JC, you've made a
Time-
crucial mistake.
This is why I stopped
Right.
giving buggers battle
Can I
maps.
drag my cot so that it's inside the hut?
I mean, sure.
No. Can I move my? I'll move my cot down there so I'm not cutting the chest in
chest.
half.
Okay.
Okay. Sick.
Can I have movement control over my cot?
Like, yo. Boom. I just made a token. Okay. This is stupid. It's so dumb.
Is it done?
It is now able to be controlled by you.
Ah, yes.
Oh my god.
Perfect.
Okay. And Zex, you're casting the dome. Is it a?
Yeah.
What's the radius on that?
10-foot radius, 20-foot diameter.
What color
did I
are you
miss?
making it?
Lime green.
Lime green.
Where- We're
Okay.
fighting over cots.
Yeah.
We're fighting
Me,
what?
me and Suna are gonna have fun time on the cots.
Oh, what?
We were until you left.
It's
Yeah,
just
my
even,
bad.
it's not even you are the only one
It's
that can
perfect.
We were gonna have fun time until you left my cot.
And now you can't access cot.
Are we
Talk
really
about
just
the
RPing
Ram
picking cots?
Yes,
The Zex
We really are.
Dome.
And what about my angle?
your angel.
My angel? It's not an angel. It's a guardian of faith. Anything
Oh my
of
Zex was gonna, or not Zex, Gil was gonna feel it up. See if it was
Anything-
actually something.
anything hostile that approaches it within 10 feet has to make a dex save.
You know, sometimes.
Oh, it's this thing.
Sometimes you just
Well,
need a
can't-
little fun.
It can't get me. Oh no.
Are these
So
the cots that have been picked?
where are you?
Oh, it's attached to me.
Yeah, it is. Because you technically
Oop.
can't leave the dome
Oop.
without it being dispelled. So you
I
can
never
place the
leave
guardian.
the dome.
No, you've left the dome. The dome's dispelled.
No,
gone now.
the dome goes with me.
No, the dome is there. This is for ease purposes because I've attached the dome to you. So wherever you want to put the guardian of faith is where it will
Here's
be.
good.
Right there. Okay. And then there's a cot next to Darren and a cot on the left side if you want to choose one. All right. As you all, Jesus, that took way too long.
Grand old time.
That was great. It was definitely worth it.
We should do that more.
Yes.
All right.
The appreciation is coming off of me.
It's coming off of you.
Yes.
Oh no. Okay. So, as you all begin to bed down, the dome coming up over two of you, the guardian coming out, Gil kind of sinking low in the cot as you all begin drifting off to sleep. May I know what everyone's passive perception is?
Oh god.
12, I think.
Okay.
15.
Also 15.
15.
Well, not. I played with Dino Nuggies, so I can't really look.
All right.
12.
Okay.
Your passive perception?
Oh no, my passive perception is 20. I thought he said roll perception.
Uh,
My bad. I
mean-
misheard.
You're sleeping, so it's seeing what noise would wake you up.
Right.
all
20.
of them.
All the noises.
All the noises wake me up.
Is Zex and Suna having fun time?
Jesus
You
Christ.
wouldn't know.
It's true. You're in the hub.
Oh my god, I can't go anywhere with you guys. I can't go
Isn't
anywhere.
that kind of weird because Vex is kind of like my magic teacher?
I mean,
So I don't know. That's kind of
We
weird.
haven't actually done a magic lesson yet,
You,
though.
We
we
haven't.
if you let me
done it
get a
one
handful,
time.
it'll help you control your magic. Don't tell him.
Don't tell Rem. Don't let him know.
Oh no!
It's a secret thing.
Fuck, dude.
alright.
Rem wouldn't understand.
As you all get yourselves to sleep. Gilgamesh.
Oh no.
Oh, poor guy.
Hey,
You wake up and you're dead.
you wake up
How's a
no
man wake
longer
up dead?
alive.
It just wakes up in the afterlife.
It wakes you in the afterlife.
Hate it when that happens.
Yes.
As-
yes, Mr. Dungeon Master, sir.
Mr. Dungeon Master, sir.
How is Gil woken up by this?
He's not.
He's just
Goodbye, Gil.
dead.
It was really nice knowing you.
Gil, as
Gil has been kidnapped.
shut up.
Oh god.
I can't do
Don't like
shit with
this.
you guys here. As you find yourselves to an uneasy sleep. Normally, it's just a wonderful period of time where you are allowed to just pass out, see nothing, and then wake up the next day. However,
Oh no.
at this moment, I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw.
No? Question
Good
mark?
luck. I refuse, so I automatically fail.
Exactly. Wait, no. Hold on.
Sure.
At least it's not intelligence.
I mean, it could be a blessing.
Sure.
Doubtful.
Sure. A blessing. I got a 13, so what, I
13.
like die or something now? Is that
You
what happened?
you have a disease.
Not quite.
You wake
Ooh,
up with polio.
does this have to do with the bite? Do I also have to make a wisdom saving
Oh
throw?
god.
As you are drifting off to sleep, Gilgamesh, you suddenly hear a female voice in your head. And then it shifts to male, starting with a lower tone and then moving up and then down until it solidifies in your mind as the voice of a young man, and it goes, "Wake up." And as it moves in your head, your eyes open and you sit up. And then you find yourself stepping off of the cot, it creaking slightly. As you try to crane your neck to look around the room, you realize you can't. You're just stuck
I'm so
looking at the
excited.
Guardian and the dome.
Gilgamesh has sleep paralysis?
As
Poor guy.
then you hear the voice again. "Look at me." And your neck instinctively starts moving to the left. And you see at the door there's a figure in the shadows of the door opened up. You can't see their face, but they're about maybe 5'11", and you can see an outstretched hand. The voice comes back to you. "Good. Now, walk over to a cot. Someone's on that cot. I don't want them to be there anymore." As your feet feel
Tosses
compelled
them off a cot.
to move towards a cot, and you find yourself unable to stop it from happening. As you step by step
No.
slowly move.
Wait a minute.
twist.
What is the range? What is the range on Guardian of Faith? Because I believe it's 10 feet.
It is 10 feet.
Did he veer into that at all?
He did not. He's just on the outside of it.
Mhm. Look at the mistakes you've made. You should have put it in the entrance.
I also have interpersonal messages with the DM, so give me a second. And
As you kind of...
Interpersonal what?
you'll understand when you're older.
What am I
Okay.
doing? Killing
So,
something?
I gotta recheck something then.
Ooh.
I want to try to stay a bit. Okay. Rem, since you sent me a message at on October 14th that says, "I want to try and stay a bit aware in case the others move. Roll me a perception check."
We really digging in the archives for this one.
Y'all thought I was dumb. Oh baby. Dirty 20.
5.
Dirty 20. Okay. You don't see the figure. You also don't see them cast. However, you do see Gil get up out of the cot and start walking.
Am I like aware that
You
I'm
are
not doing this.
very much aware, but you can't say anything. They're telling you exactly what to do, and your limbs are not your own.
But like my brain is processing that this ain't me.
It is like watching someone's first-person perspective.
That's whack. Okay.
As you watch as Gil stops for a second and kind of just his head just kind of swivels over the beds. Gilgamesh,
Yeah.
do you still have your breath weapon?
I would like to intervene.
No!
Yeah.
You just see him standing there.
The moment he moved, I was on alert because I knew this was gonna be some bullshit.
So what are you doing?
I'm intervening.
Not
How?
gonna
You can't
How?
just say you're intervening.
I'm intervening.
I'm
All
being
action
different.
stop.
You watch him walk over, and Gil, do you still have the breath weapon?
Give me a dex save.
Gil, you need to answer the question before you make that dex save.
I do still have my breath weapon, yes.
All right. So, I would like both Gilgamesh and Rem to... No, because it's all...
Initiative?
No, because Gil can do this all within 6 seconds before Rem can do anything. So, the two girls,
Make me do this, man.
the two
Wait a
girls
minute.
and Darren
The-
will all make con saves. What is your con save?
What is the range on this thing?
14.
Is it 60 feet?
14.
Compulsion just works the moment it starts.
Okay. Two of them fail.
And then die. And then
Gilgamesh,
you have no choice
Gilgamesh,
because
please
you're
roll
the
me
most
breath
likely
damage.
to be killed.
Fucking Suna wouldn't let me have the goddamn cot, and now look what the...
I didn't even kick you out.
You should
I
have.
didn't believe.
You should have moved into my circle, Gilgamesh. This is your own fault.
Let me pull up Darren. I think he's...
This is like...
This is what you
Hi-
get for not staying in
this-
my hut.
This... Sorry, I wasn't invited.
I always invite you guys. You
I
just
was never
always
invited.
say no.
No, you didn't invite me. I never got a verbal invite.
Roll me the damage.
It's 10 damage.
10 damage.
All three
Rem,
of them
as you
suddenly
begin
die.
moving and begin casting, you watch as Gil puts up his hand and you watch as all three of them begin coated with ice. Darren immediately begins springing out of the way as the two girls, I believe...
Oh my god.
Yeah, both of them are frozen.
Oh.
Everyone's awake now.
Everyone?
Because you can still hear it.
Yes.
It's pretty loud.
And Rem, since you're the one doing the next thing, since technically you were the only one not surprised, you can make Gil make his dex save now.
Can I move now anyway?
Sure.
So we're getting out of bed.
How much damage was that, Gil, by the way?
10 cold damage.
10. Okay.
Okay. Gil, give me that dex save.
Dex save?
Yes.
Quick question. A very important one at that.
Can I see?
Can I see it?
Is it a spell?
Can I see it coming?
Yes.
Then you can see it.
I'm surprising him though.
No, he's still
true.
aware, and the man who's controlling him is very aware that you're there.
But Gil
Man?
didn't know that I was awake.
Doesn't
This
matter.
is a sneak attack.
It doesn't matter about Gil. Gil doesn't matter in this situation. Gil is not Gil.
So Gil's feature triggers because the man wants it to trigger then.
Yes. Gil is not Gil. The man is Gil right now. And the man knows you're
Oh.
there.
Do I still
Okay.
get advantage?
You
Gil
get
is
advantage.
possessed by a demon.
Gil, please make a dex save. With advantage.
17.
You just passed.
Okay.
Heyo.
What were you casting?
Sacred Flame.
So, as this happens, Gil, you're just watching, and then all of a sudden your body shifts out of the way slightly, and you aren't even comprehending why until you see the flame poof, burst in the wall next to you. As this flame impacts, I would like everyone to roll initiative.
I also have a bonus action.
Sure.
I can spare the dying one of these girls.
Fuck, really?
Okay. Top or bottom?
Jesus.
I'll go with
Wait,
Rhino, bottom.
I killed him?
They had 4 HP.
Oh, wait, that's
They
back.
actually had 9.
Well,
They had 9 HP.
listen, 3d6 is not a lot, but at the same time kind of is.
To these
It's a
girls,
lot
it's
when
a
you're
lot.
14.
All right.
So, question, Jacob.
What's up?
Good
Now
job,
that
Gil.
I'm
Fucking
awake-
killing it out here.
What's
Now
up?
that I'm awake, does my passive perception pick up this person in the doorway?
It does not.
Really? What did they roll? Dang.
I'd tell you, but that'd be
32.
cheating. So,
Would it?
so
Not really. You could tell us the total. We just have to like guess.
Mhm.
I mean, there's
Anyway.
a distinct difference. Okay, so let me roll for Darren.
You're rolling advantage? What the fuck?
It's-
Initiative?
Initiative.
Yeah, I don't know why. You know what? I just want to see. I just want to know if I can see it. That's.
Can you see these nuts?
Ha! God.
Yes.
You.
Ha! Got him. I don't like this helmet. Face it.
Okay.
I say as I finish all of it.
So, Gil. Have fun. Kill.
All right, so
Destroy.
25 to 20.
23.
Oh shit. Okay, so who's had the higher one?
I had 23.
Okay, so we got Zex, then Gil.
Gil's not Gil right now though, so does his
40.
roll count?
Yes, it does.
22 for Gil.
Okay. 22-15.
17.
Okay. 15 to 10. Okay. 10 to 5. Okay.
Oh,
Who's
wait.
left?
6.
6.
I got a 6.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
So, I assume we didn't get the benefit of a long rest.
No, you did not.
Dang.
So,
I don't even think any of us fell asleep.
Well, you were asleep.
you guys
when
had
we
begun
got-
to drift off.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Except me.
Except you. So, Zex, you are first, as you see this happen.
Okay. So I'm gonna step out of this. So I'm gonna use 15 feet of movement to go. Then I'll step out of it so it disappears.
Okay.
And then Gil, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me. I'm casting Dissonant Whispers in a 4th level slot.
All
You
right.
still at a 4th level slot?
I have 3.
You've been hiding this from us the whole time?
Clearly it's useful. Anyway. Gil, wisdom save.
Wisdom, you got it.
Wisdom.
Where did you go? Well, good thing I have another one. Oof, I got a 7.
Yeah, no. Definitely
Nah,
does not
no.
succeed.
I failed 3 times over.
29 points of psychic damage.
Gil is unconscious.
All right.
Dope.
not even dead either. Isn't it just like flat unconscious, like on the number?
I think it knocks
Or-
him down, wouldn't it?
Knocks you unconscious.
You have exceeded my current HP.
All right.
Exceeded?
Like,
He's not
yes, like-
doubled his HP.
Okay,
No,
bonus
no, no,
action.
no.
Not even
Like-
close. Don't worry about that.
Oh, you had 26, not 29.
yeah.
All right. Zex, as you cast
Um,
this out, you watch as Gil just collapses.
Dope. Real quick, bonus action.
Teabag.
Healing word the girl on the top
Okay.
in a first level slot, just so she doesn't die. So she's just gonna get 6 heals.
All right. As you walk forth, expunge the dome, cast this dissonant whisper, and then put forth this healing breath. As it makes its way, you watch as the ice begins to thaw on her outsides, and she begins shaking herself awake. She's up.
We still don't know about this mysterious figure.
Nope. Gil,
Right.
I would like you to make a death
Ye-
saving throw.
Okie doke.
Triple nat ones all at one time.
Rolls 3d20s. I got you on the message. Don't even worry.
Okay.
Check your DMs.
Check the DMs.
You're flirting with the dungeon master?
All right.
You're
Thank
not
you
supposed
for
to
that one.
expose me like that.
I don't know. I'm exposing you. Call it TMZ because, bro, that's fun.
All right. Suna.
What's up?
It's not your turn. However,
Okay.
It's just like, it's not your turn. Moving on.
that's it. It's over.
It's over. Done.
Done. Does a 19 hit you?
Yeah, it sure does.
Okay. You will take. Ooh, okay.
Is this a spell?
No, it is not.
Okay.
Can she see it?
She's about
Can't you?
to.
Right,
Oh,
thank you.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Oh no. I need to put more
Hey.
dice out.
Someone's
What?
No.
R.I.P. Sooner.
Alright.
You said what?
What kind of flowers do you want in your grave?
Nice ones?
Oh,
Pretty ones? Poppies? Roses? Daffodils?
okay.
Marigolds?
But I got that staff. I can put up to 10 in there
Straight
for you.
weeds, just like, do you want the white ones or the yellow ones? Because I'll get like a handful of like white dandelion powder, just like anoint you with like pop, like the white girl's picture.
Yeah, that'll
Suna,
work.
you take 19 points of piercing damage.
No.
And 5 points of necrotic damage.
Ow.
Your hit point maximum is reduced by 5.
What the fuck?
As
No.
you hear Suna cry out on the bed, and you all look over, and there is a woman with dark, tattered hair.
This woman would take a dex save.
She's
I don't
Jesus
think invisibility
Christ.
matters.
it's they're watching.
She's not within 10 feet. She could
I
have gone to
just
right
threw
here
her
and
on
then
the
over.
map. Let me place her first. I just threw her on it. As this is the closest she can get without hitting anyone else. You hear Suna cry out, and you all look around, and there is a woman. You can't really tell her age, hair, face over Suna's neck, just clamping down as you see Suna writhing. With that, yeah, that's gonna be that. I would also, because they rolled pretty much the same initiative, you see a young man with dark brown and black hair, kind of appear in the doorway. And I would like Zex to make a wisdom save.
No.
Oh, hey.
Why?
Nice.
Oh, that's okay. 19.
19, you pass. As you feel your muscles start to stiffen and then shrug it off. That is their turn. It is now Elisa's turn as she springs off the bed, looks to see that her daughter's okay, and is going to take a shot at the woman biting Suna. That's a miss. That's a 7. She pulls up the crossbow, cracks into the wall next to her. That's Elisa's turn. Rem, your turn.
Beats Gil's ass when he's down.
Am I only seeing 2 people right now?
You see the 2 people. You see the boy in the door and the girl biting Suna.
Have this boy give me a wisdom save.
All right, what are you casting and at what level?
Command first level.
Okay. That is a 19.
That succeeds.
As you cast this out, he just looks at you and grins. You can see sharp fanged teeth kind of shine off of the glow of your guardian.
Granted this bitch, spiritual weapon, 2nd level slot, I'm swinging at him.
Okay. Roll to hit. I'll get your weapon.
Oh, that's not gonna hit.
What'd you roll?
14!
14 does not hit as the grin stays on his face as the weapon appears and swings, cracks into the side of the wall.
I'm going to decapitate this man and feed him his own entrails.
Okay. That's Rem's turn.
You thought what happened in Vietnam was bad? You ain't seen shit yet.
All right, it is now Mordak's turn, as Mordak is going to push himself off, and he is going to take his 40-foot movement, and he is going to throw 2 knives, because he's not in distance. He's going to throw them at the woman, trying to help Suna. 20 and 21, those both hit. As he does 16 total points of piercing damage as you watch the 2 knives slam into the girl's side as she just kind of shakes for a second and then doesn't seem to react too much. That is Mordak's turn. Is the girl's turn, and they've kind of broken down again at this point.
Wait a minute.
Them kind of just
Didn't
no the little girls. Neither
Oh.
of them have to make death saves. The other one, so as this happens, they're just going to hop off the bed, and they're moving to the far side of the room. It's their turn. It is Daren's turn, as he is going to jump up as well. And he can get right here, as he's going to make 3 attacks. Because he's a monk, and that's what monks do. Shitty rolls. 12 does not hit. 17 hits, and 23. So actually 2 of them hit, not that bad. Doing 10, 6, 11, or 21 total points of damage as you watch as he punches the man in the face. Excuse me, Jesus. All right. Suna, it's now your turn. You're lying down on the cot as you're woken up to your neck being bitten and ripped into. What are you doing?
If she's just still, she's just still on me.
She's released you. You're not grappled, but you can feel the blood kind of pouring out of your neck.
How much fun. While I'm just laying down right here, can I cast a spell?
Yeah,
Can I cast poison spray right at this lady's face?
sure.
That'll be a con save.
Oof, that's not very good. That is a 7.
Ooh. Where are my d12s?
Ooh.
There we go. There's the one. 12.
12?
Yeah, 12 total.
12 total points of damage. As you ball together the arcane energy in your hand, release it, and there's a shriek. As she pulls away, you can see she only stands maybe about like 5'2". And she's a lot younger than she initially looked. Is that your turn, Suna?
I can still get upright, but it takes half my movement.
Half your movement to get up?
Okay. I'll just move a little bit farther away.
The chair, give her the chair.
Alright.
Yeah, that'll be my turn.
Alright, Zex, it is now your turn.
Alright, this girl over here needs to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Alright.
Dissonant Whispers 4th level slot again.
Okay. 11.
Nope.
All those dice.
It's 6d6. $31.
31 points of damage. Alright.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else she has to do with that, or is that it?
She lives.
It's just psychic damage.
Okay, you watch
So-
as it. She kind of holds her face for a second, burying it in her hands, kind of twisting away from you guys. The tattered hair and clothes just kind of moving. And you can see on top of these, they're like kind of like, like they still have tattered clothes, both of them, but on their chests they have very nice, like, leather vests that they're wearing for some reason. It's a very odd dichotomy.
Okay.
Is that your turn, Zex?
I'm gonna move up over here.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
All right. Gilgamesh, please make me a death saving throw.
You know, I could never want to do anything more than precisely that in this moment.
Okay.
Even being a fine gentleman in Paris.
Even being a fine gentleman in Paris.
This
Ooh. There it is, okay.
All right.
I need to roll on a larger surface, I swear to God.
So, that taken care of, it is now the two figures' turns. First,
did you roll them together? Or did they just luck out?
they lucked out and got the same one.
I don't see that often.
No, not at all. The girl is going to spin around, and Zex. They're going to make 2 attacks on you.
Okay.
First attack is a 21.
That definitely hits.
Okay. you take as her hand rakes across to your back.
Okay.
Five, 20 points of slashing damage.
Holy crap! Is that all together? Like, how? What?
That's
Okay. Is that one attack?
That's her first attack. As you watch it
Oh,
dig
no.
deep into the shoulder blades, and you watch as you feel the hands kind of bring in as she pulls the back of your neck to her. She's going to try and bite you. Oh, that was an 8. As you
Thank
yank your
goodness.
neck out of the way, and you hear her jaws snap shut. The man is going to he's gonna attack you as well, Zex.
Okay.
Does
Magically?
a dirty 20 hit?
Yeah. Is this magic or is it just like,
This is just normal.
dang, unfortunate? If he does more than 6 damage, I'm down.
He did 7. Damn
I
it.
am down.
It sucks, but it's funny how the world pans out, isn't it?
So funny. Okay, I'm just gonna mute
Right.
and
Just
then
gonna lie down.
let me know.
Take a nap right here.
Okay. He is going to take his other attack against Darren. That hits. That does 10 points of slashing damage. As he rakes across Darren's chest. And that is his turn. It is now Elise's turn. She is going to kind of move forward and take a shot. You hear the subtle thump of the crossbow. That is a 15. I believe that just hits. As she does 8 points of piercing damage to the woman. Rem, it is now your turn.
Rem had a mass healing word in their ring. So that's 6 people. So let me get a Zex,
Okay. Yes.
Darren, Suna, Gil, me, and Mordak. Everybody that's downed gets max, so 9. And then I would roll for the rest of us that are not downed. And that is going to be 8 Heelys.
Okay. Give me one more thing. So it was 8 to people like Darren.
People that are up, 8. People that are downed, 9.
So I'm at 9 HP now then?
Yes.
Great. Sounds good.
Okay, so Darren and Mordak get 8, and Zex and Gil get 9.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm swinging my shovel.
All right.
Try not to kill him.
Does a 15 hit?
15 just hits.
It's only a 2nd level, so it's only 1d8. For 9 damage.
9 points of damage as the shovel boom the top of his head. All right. So, gonna take off the down as Zex. You are lying down right now. Gil and Zex.
I'm prone.
You am prone, so I'm gonna mark you with a red dot.
Sounds
Oh.
good.
It is Mordak's turn, as he is going to move up, and he's going to take 3 attacks against the woman. That is 14 or 15, which hits 15. All 3 of his hit, which is a 10, 20, 26 points of damage. As he slams into her, you can see and hear the crunch of her bones as his fists land true. That is Mordak's turn. Girls aren't doing anything. Daeron's turn, as he is going to swing at the guy. 2 of those were natural 3s, so those miss, but the other one was a 22, so that will hit, dealing 11 points of damage. As he blocks one, blocks the other, and then the other one, Daeron just pulls him in and headbutts him in the face. You can hear the nose of the man, or the boy, break.
Headbutting or aggressive kissing?
These are the
Suna.
questions that need to be asked.
Your
Courthouse says headbutting,
Ooh.
but got you one of the freakies.
Alright. I'm gonna move. Right here.
All right.
Next to this lady.
All right.
Um,
You kind of look down at this girl as she's bears fangs as well as the boy.
I'm gonna use Quicken Spell
Okay.
to cast Shocking Grasp as a bonus action.
All right.
Does a natural 20 touch her?
I figure it does.
Oh, whoops. For 16 damage.
16 points of damage as you kind of jump up and whip around. The hand grasps, you're aiming for her throat, but it actually latches onto the top of her forehead and it blasts.
Okay.
You can see some of the hair kind of fly out, and as it is revealed to you, this looks like the face of a very, very young girl.
Do I have a guess on how young?
You'd guess maybe around her like early 20s, and maybe like 18. That'd be the
Ooh.
youngest you'd put her. All right.
Alright.
Is that anything else you do in Suna?
I'd actually like to use my normal action to swing with my longsword.
Okay.
Does a 15 hit?
15 just hits.
Alright. Yeah. There's a chance she's a couple years older than me. There's a chance she's like a year younger. What are you gonna do?
Everything here's got that
Hopefully
weird,
kill her.
that weird feature.
So 9 damage.
9 points of damage. Okay. She is barely hanging on. As you slice up, you see a part of the nice vest and tattered dress open up. Blood sprays across your sword, but she's still up.
Yeah,
Zax.
how many?
Yes. Just a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Did we like sleep? I'm doing that in air quotes for long enough for it to be considered a short rest.
Nope.
Dang it. Okay. Well, I'm gonna use half my movement to stand up,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna use my scimitars to make a non-lethal attack on the guy.
Okay.
Does a 30, 20 hit?
Dirty 20 hits.
Okay. 7 damage.
7 points of damage.
Slashing specifically.
All right. As it, you kind of hit with the hilt across his chin, and his face kind of lurches for a second, and he just looks back at you.
I'm gonna do it again. Also non-lethal.
Okay.
$23 to hit.
23 hits.
8 damage.
Okay. As you slam it again, once again, it's just one side, the other side. As his chin just kind of whips back and forth.
And one more time. $16 to hit.
16 hits.
1 damage.
1 point of damage.
How'd you roll 1 point of damage?
Because I don't get any pluses for my
You
bonus action.
still get your
range.
modifier to it.
You do
'cause
not
it
get
still
a
did hit.
modifier for a
I
bonus
get
action
nothing
attack.
from my bonus action. It's what I roll.
Bonus actions don't get modifiers for melee. So, Gilgamesh, it is now your turn.
Huh?
As you wake up on the ground, oh, I don't know why that
Wait,
happened.
can I say something real quick? Can I
No.
just yell out, try not to kill this guy?
Gilgamesh, what are you doing? You are lying on the ground right now. You're prone.
Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm. How many more of those do I still have?
So if you stand up to get out of prone, you lose half of your movement, by the way. Make sure you're aware.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Shit, this sucks. Alright, get up.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I'll get up. Use the other half of my movement to get here.
All right.
And I guess I'll dash as well.
Okay.
Can I occupy the same space as a shovel?
I believe the shovel takes up a spot.
It's ethereal, so
It's still manifesting as a physical form. Otherwise, it would just pass through whoever you're hitting. And see if it holds space. If it doesn't say anything about it, then it holds up a spot. If it says it doesn't hold a spot, then it doesn't. So, that's your turn for the time being. It is
Yeah.
the vampires. Zex.
That's a pretty good guess on what they might be.
Yeah, I'm on these two. They're pretty bare bones. Zex, I would like. Actually, yeah, Zex does a 21 hit you.
Yeah.
All right. As you feel a slight pushing motion in your back and look back and see the girl bloody and smiling at you, she's going to sink her teeth into you.
It's more than 9. I die.
That's going to be more than
Again. Okay, then I'm down.
9. It's more like 20.
Oh man,
this is how
and
much
that's
your
to
hit
my
point.
hit point maximum.
No, this is to your hit point maximum. 7.
Okay.
Your hit point maximum is reduced by 7. As Suna, you watch as the girl spins around and bites into Zex's back.
Rude.
As Zex goes down once again.
That's fucked up.
She is going to kind of look back, look forth, and she is going to try and run. Suna and Mordak get opportunity attacks, and then Gilgamesh and everyone's getting an opportunity attack on her. So Suna.
Real quick, can I cast a spell instead of attacking?
No, that is a feat that you have to take to do that.
Cool.
Mordak's gonna
yeah, I
roll.
guess I'll
Mordak doesn't hit.
just play with my sword. Ooh. I'm on the wrong page. 8? Does 8 hit?
8 does not hit. Gilgamesh, if you want to take an opportunity attack to hit the girl.
Does a 22 hit?
22 hits.
Wayo.
Darren will roll just in case.
Ooh. That's max damage.
Ooh.
That is 16 damage.
Okay.
That slowly brings her back in. Wait a minute.
Hold on. Back it up.
Wait a minute. This might not go the way I anticipated.
She takes it. Darren hits. Let's see if he can knock her out. Or put her on the ground. With 11 points of damage, you watch as the girl crumbles.
Hey.
The
Doesn't that mean she crumbles on top of my body?
I mean, if you
Paper
want
lover.
that. Thud.
Wait. Zex and weird vampire lady fun time?
Paper
He
lovers.
cracks her in the back of the head.
She can't stop there. For Darren to get his opportunity attack, she has
That's
to pass
true.
by.
She has to pass
She can't
here.
crumple there.
So she crumples here because of how
She can fall on her friend.
movement works.
Ooh. Ooh. One
The
friend?
friend is going to run. As
Darren gets
he
a
there.
Is this a
other...
ladder?
No, he doesn't.
Nope. And that is where the ladder is. As you watch as he climbs up and out.
His whole movement speed gets him all the way out.
From where he was, yes.
I'm burning this entire town to the fucking ground. I've changed my mind.
Give me up.
So,
I've had a change of alignment.
Elise is turn. She's going to not do anything. Rem, it is your turn.
I'm gonna get here. We're 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay, spare the dying, Zex. Get up. This bitch. Oh, I'm gonna have fun with you. Spare the dying.
Ooh.
So you
I ain't
spare
done.
the dying, both of them.
Yep, I'm not done with her.
Okay.
So, I'm not dead, but I'm also not up.
Nope.
Yep.
Great.
Rule on the shovel. It's spectral, which just means it's see-through. It can't be passed through, but it also floats. So if I identify that it's like 5 feet above or like higher, technically he could slide under it, but I'd have to say that it's up in the air.
Yes.
Well, also, it wouldn't be within 5 feet of the person, so you'd have to use some of its movement in
No,
order to hit them, wouldn't you?
I wouldn't, because if I'm up in the air and I'm over top of them, they're still within the 5-foot range. I'm just cracking them in a downward motion. It'd be like a...
It's like a
javelin
windmill. Okay. as of this moment, combat's technically over. As you all kind of evaluate yourselves, and catch on if you guys are doing anything.
Leap.
I'm going into Zex's bag and getting these dimensional shackles.
Really? You're not gonna wake me up? You're just gonna be like, oh, Zek's bag.
How the fuck am I supposed to wake you up?
I don't know. You're the cleric. Figure it out.
With what spell slots?
Do you have no spell slots left?
I've got one, and I gotta decide what I'm doing quick. So let me just work, please. You're dead. Be quiet.
You're dead. Shut up.
This is what you wanted. I'm getting the shackles. I also looked it up. Shackles don't have keys.
No, they have a command word, I believe.
It's like whoever uses them can dictate that other people can take them off. It's not like a command word thing.
So,
Because like if it was a command word, the person that was shackled could use it, and it's a whole mess.
So, you can find the shackles. You know that Zex keeps them in the bag. You take them out. No one's dying, so do what you're gonna do.
Oh yeah, shackle her, and do I have the strength? She's tiny. I'm gonna drag her.
Okay. As you just, as you're looking,
I'm dropping her right here.
I would like Suna, Gilgamesh, and Rem to make an intelligence check.
Ooh,
Bro, you
who
know I'm
this
not
is.
smart.
I know who this is.
Oh, I am. I'm feeling smart today, though.
Okay.
I'm blinded by fury. 9.
9.
18.
18. Gil?
Is
Let me
this-
just make sure. Nat 20. Yara's feeling smart today.
Gil.
Yeah.
As you're watching Rem drag this girl along, the light from some of a lantern that Mordak has started to, turn and light catches the side of her face. And it resembles Darren a bit.
Yes, I knew it.
As Darren doesn't seem to say anything.
Can I just, look over my shoulder at Darren and, see if it's who I think it is?
Make an insight check.
This is gonna be the lowest DC of my life. This is gonna be the easiest thing I've ever done. You said,
Insight.
Insight? Okay.
Phew!
I got an 11.
11. The shadow kind of coming across his face. You can't tell whether he knows what you know and just isn't doing anything, or if he just hasn't seen the face yet.
Oh.
Whack.
Can I look around at everyone else and see if anybody else notices? Or if I'm the only one?
I'm gonna say, because it's funny, you're the only one.
God damn it.
Yeah.
The only one that you
don't
know.
notice.
Yeah, Suna, you're beginning to put it together right now. You've kind of glanced at the face, and then you're glancing at Darren, and looking back at the girl, looking back at Darren, and then back at the girl.
I'm gonna head towards the door, and I'm gonna look to Darren as I'm going, and I'm gonna just say, Darren, let's make sure this guy doesn't come back,
Yeah.
and make my way out.
As you two head
I'm
out.
just-
But before I leave, I'm gonna let Darren go before me, and before I leave, I'm not even gonna look at Zex. I'm just gonna say, Zex, when I get back, tell me who she resembles. I
I
guess.
can't hear you.
Zex
I'm
is unconscious on
down.
the floor.
He's still unconscious? Oh my god.
What
Well,
do you want me to do? If
I'm
you
gonna-
wanted more, then you should have played a support. Fuck you guys.
I'm gonna say it anyway and leave.
I have the same amount of spell slots as everyone else.
Can I hear it in my dream, JC?
No, you're unconscious. You're sleeping, man.
So as they're leaving, I'm gonna put it together and just go like, oh,
Oh,
and then just kind of shut up and follow Gilgamesh out.
Okay.
Do I hear Tsuna
Yeah.
have this
You hear that as you're heading out.
orgasmic reaction?
As you all kind of head up and out,
I gotta
it's
be orgasmic.
I mean, that's what it sounded like.
yeah. The three of you
Wasn't my
head up
intention.
and out into the cold night air. It's very dark outside. There's not much of a moon. What are you guys doing?
Are there any footprints or anything?
Make a survival check.
Mm. 13.
13. Yeah, you can actually see some footprints. They move a bit on and off to the main road, and then you can see them duck into an alleyway heading north.
Guess let's follow those foots.
Should we be following him?
No. Let's just make sure he doesn't come back.
You got a plan
I'm-
for that, Gil?
I'm not in much of a position to be fighting right now.
Okay. Can I use second wind?
Sure. As you just kind of
We
take a deep breath, roll your d10.
So I rolled a 10.
Nice.
I get 13 back. Perfect.
Okay.
As we're kind of like standing around, I want to pull Suna to the side. Away from Darren, more or less.
Sure.
And basically just ask. You saw it too, didn't you?
Yeah. I'll kind of like take a watch if you want. You guys have fun with that one.
You're telling me that what? We just walk him in there and show him his dead sister on the floor?
Yep, good luck with that.
Let me go see what Rem thinks about this. He's the one who would know most anything. And I'll make my way back inside.
Do you
Rem,
want me to keep David out here? Okay.
I just like immediately just turned and went inside.
mhm.
Hey, Darren, do you want to like keep watch with me?
Hey, buddy. What's up?
Sure.
I just murdered your sister.
What?
My bad.
The part is he's the one that got the blow off too. We didn't do it. He did it.
No.
Oh, that's right. That's true. too.
Don't. No.
He judo chopped the back of her head. I had nothing to do with it.
All right.
Uh,
So, Rem, while they step outside, what are you doing?
I'm dragging her right in front of the guardian, and I'm tying her up.
Okay, are you designating the guardian to attack her?
No, I'm just putting her here so that if she gets up and starts some shit, it's not gonna be a fun time.
Okay. The shackles and rope? Is that what you're doing?
Oh yeah. I'm tying her. I'm about to cocoon her
Okay.
effectively.
As you begin this process of like turning her over on her side, you hear a as you kind of like glance up for a second, see Mordak has drug Zex onto a bed, back onto the cot.
Thank you, Mordak. You're the only one who cares.
Quiet, you're dead.
Mordak, a real homie.
Well, I don't think we're safe anymore.
I hate this godforsaken town.
It's it's
I
just a
literally
shitty
hate
one.
it here.
Sorry,
I'm
we're
telling
not
you
a
right now.
paradise.
The only thing stopping you from burning this place to the ground is you.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment. As you hear the steps of Gil descending again. As Gil, you enter into the room. You can see Rem tying up.
Very angrily. Like, I'm not being gentle. I'm literally just like grabbing handfuls of like tits and ass and flipping her over. I literally
Wait,
don't.
is she? She's back alive again, right?
No,
No,
she's
she's
unconscious.
stabilized. She's unconscious. This
Oh,
looks
she's
like
unconscious. Rem. Fuck. Does this gesturing to supposedly his sister? Does this remind you of anyone you've been in close proximity with very recently?
I would like you,
something.
can I have you make another
More.
intelligence check, Rem? let's see if this gets through your rage.
Yeah.
10. So
He's too mad.
He's too mad.
kinda.
It's like you're like, fuck her.
No, don't care.
Not worth
Don't
it.
care.
Not worth it.
Not literally do not care. Why?
We do not care.
Rem, do you even remember why we're here?
I remember we were here to get Daeron's father, and we were here to help them liberate their town, and Daeron's sister was kind of like an afterthought.
Well, that afterthought is lying on the ground being tied up.
Let me take another look.
After he's
Still too mad. Don't believe you.
After
Can I
he,
do it with disadvantage?
after he points it out, you look and you can see like it's that kind of like sibling similarity of if Daeron was younger, thinner, and a chick.
It's hard to put together because her age is fuck. Is the thing.
Yeah.
So I only met Daeron when he was older, so it's kind of hard to like lost victims put this together.
Yeah. But he points it out and the thought crosses your mind.
Okay. I'm still flipping her over and tying her up. Quite aggressively. Your point?
I'd figured you want to do something with it.
I can't really do anything with it while it's in this condition. And I'm not even talking about the unconsciousness.
Listen, it's none of my concern of Daeron and his personal matters, especially with his family, but
That's
figured
your
it might
friend.
be to
It is
you.
your business. The only reason he approached us is because he knew who you were. You brought him here. This is just as much your business as it is his. That's the nature of friendship. You brought it up to us because you cared about him, whether you want to say it or not.
I brought it up because I figured some of you might actually realize something.
Like what? I mean, not the sister. I mean, coming here in the first place.
Oh, okay.
You brought up him wanting to come here because you care about him. And the only reason you haven't decapitated this girl is because you care about him. Every other time it takes me fucking 10 years to convince you not to cut something's head off.
If I'd be decapitating anyone here, it'd be the one lying on the cot.
Which cot?
Fuck Gil.
I'm gesturing over to Zax. But I have realized at least some boundaries, and I wouldn't expect it to happen.
You want to explain what happened back there?
I don't know. It wasn't as crazy it sounds. It wasn't me. Trust me, if I were to do something like that, it would be a lot cleaner than doing whatever the hell that was.
Well, as of right now, she's unconscious and alive. I can't promise she'll be that way by the end of tomorrow, but... What does he think of it? He noticed.
Darren?
He would have had to. He's the one that knocked her down.
It didn't look like he noticed.
I'll keep her here for now. Go upstairs and speak with him. I need to check on Zex.
Just don't be surprised when most likely mess of a man comes down the ladder. And I'm gonna make my way out.
Alright.
Back up to Suna and Darren, probably having the most awkward conversation of their lives.
I mean, you want to give us a soundbite
How's
of that
the
conversation, Susan?
How's the dead sister? I mean, weather.
Whether.
I mean, dead sister. Sorry, dead sister. Sorry. Dead sister, sorry. Dead sister. Sorry.
Soon,
I just want to sit here in silence.
so he's just kind of standing there. It's kind of like you hear him just kind of popping his hand. Gil comes up.
Hey Gil.
I'm gonna get to the top of the stairs and I'm just gonna stand there and say, Darren. Have you, hi, fuck it. Your sister paid us a visit.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna tell you this now. If you don't want to see her 6 feet under in about less than a day, I'd go talk to Rem. He's, not quite happy right now.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
I'll just give him a nod.
Kind of moves past you, Suna, and heads down the ladder. Anything else you guys are doing up there?
I'm just gonna keep watch.
I want to ask Suna. So, how was it up here?
Oh, it sure is.
Any sign of whoever the other one was?
No, I haven't seen anything.
Say you have magic. You can fix. I'm gonna like gesture to myself and just say this, right?
I mean,
Fireball.
It's like you're cold?
I guess the best I can do for you is to shoot something off in a random direction and hope something good happens. But I cannot guarantee anything. So if you want to try that, let me know.
You see like a bit of a grin go on Gil's face and just say, I would enjoy seeing something happen. If you think it would work, be my guest.
All right. Give me a moment.
Do you want to let the wild magic overtake you? I will let this happen.
Can I do that?
I will let it, you have to cast a spell, but you have to use a spell.
I'm trying to figure out what I want to cast.
And tell me how far apart you guys are and everything like that.
How far are you from me, Gil?
I'm standing like roughly right next to you.
I
Okay.
don't want to cast
Okay.
that.
Please.
Rem has no healing slots back.
God.
You're both gonna die.
God.
I'm gonna cast.
Dear God.
Oh God. Oh, yours. I don't even know. You know what? I'll just cast Lightning Bolt, which is a 3rd level spell.
Okay.
I'm just gonna shoot it straight out in front of me, away from everything.
Okay. As you watch Suna kind of coalesce lightning gathering in their hands, moving between the fingers, and then almost like a storm was centered on this one person. A large 5-foot bolt of lightning just shoots out from her hands and arcs down the street. Suna, please roll me a D100.
Almost like a flare.
That's exactly
20.
what I was thinking.
20. You then watch Gil as
Oh,
this
no.
happens. You watch from her hands as soon as the lightning bolt finishes, Suna's body explodes in this brownish liquid that drenches both of you.
Suna shit her pants.
Shark.
And you are covered. You both are covered in grease. I need you to make.
Shit.
I need both of you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Can I see it?
You can see this.
Yes.
What
Oh,
the fuck
shit.
is this?
I'm glad I can see it for so many reasons.
14.
Not just the danger sense.
Suna.
14.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gil ain't making it out of this. 8.
Suna, what's your spell save?
That's my
More than 8.
spell save?
Yeah.
15.
15. Both of you failed. As it explodes, knocking both of you off your feet as you both fall prone and are covered in grease.
I'm just gonna look at Gil. Are you happy?
Am I everything you imagine?
You can see Gil just like lift his head up so
Do you-
visibly upset.
Do you feel better now?
and like just pissed to the max, and he just stares at Suna. Just not even any words, just death stare Suna.
This is just advanced. Put some petroleum jelly on it.
Did you enjoy your time?
Am I
Was this good for you?
Was this good for you? Because it was good for... I gotta go. I'll be back. I gotta take a breather.
Just Gil is gonna get up. He's gonna
Oh, I see
kind of like
spots.
wipe himself off, I guess.
Okay.
Do you want to go again?
And he's gonna just like start roughly. Can I make a survival check to find those footprints again?
Sure.
Fuck out.
17.
17. They're not there anymore. They're not there.
Can he have advantage since he knew where they were before?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know where they were. They're not there.
Can I have advantage because I knew where they were?
No, the
Can I?
you
Can I?
sure fine you. I don't.
So I
think
can look really hard.
You'll look real hard.
Nah, I got worse this time.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
they're
So-
gone.
So like I went back to where I saw them before, and they're just not there.
They're just not there.
Is this a thing of Gil didn't roll high enough, or is this a thing of they're just no longer there?
It could be either. I don't know. I don't know anything. So,
Oh, okay.
anything you guys
Uh-huh.
are doing? Covered in grease.
I'm like actively trying to get this off.
I know, but this is grease.
Gil,
This is
Can
the
I like go around the Can I go around the corner and like roll in the snow and try to get it off?
it's not going to do anything. Water doesn't stick to grease. That
It doesn't.
includes snow.
Listen,
You're just
I
going to
have
be
an-
greasy and cold then.
I don't
I'm
get
just
cold.
gonna-
I have an
I'm just
intelligence of
gonna-
0. You think I know this?
I'm just gonna lay here.
okay. It's just
My
lying
entire
in the
body
grease.
lubed up. Entirely lubed up.
Oh,
no! Ah,
Gil and Suna?
no. Maybe it is Gil and Suna fun time.
Oh,
oh my god. Okay.
God.
So,
Ram, were you doing something?
Rem, as this happens, as you're still tying them up, you hear softer steps descending, and as you can see, Darren just kind of walks in and then sits, kind of wrapping his hands along his knees on the ground, just kind of eyeing the girl's body.
So, want to talk about it?
We're gonna need to. Right?
I'm sure Gil told you I'm very upset.
Yeah. I know.
Are you upset?
I'm a little upset.
Good chance that she didn't die in this encounter.
I know. I... It's a weird mix of emotions, you know? It's... I don't know, it's just a mixture of happiness and horror.
Fair.
Is there anything you can do for her, you think?
I only know about things like this with like bits and pieces of legends and fairy tales. Like you hear about creatures like this, but no one really like pinpoints exactly. Like it's you won't find anything like this in any bestiary.
This isn't a creature. This is my sister. Of course you're not gonna find her in a bestiary.
I'm not talking about her, I mean her condition. As it stands, she's afflicted.
Right.
And this affliction stems from a creature that makes them somewhat close. It's like I said, it's not something that you see or talk about a lot. I will attempt to help her, but I'm letting you know that it might not work, and if it does work, I have no idea what repercussions it's going to have on her body. Like, she should be nearly the same age as you, and she doesn't look. She looks younger than Suna. I have no clue what that band like effect is going to happen when I lift the affliction. I don't know. She may age and catch up, or it may backfire. I don't know.
Okay.
Is it possible to help her? I'm going to labor under the delusion of yes.
Okay.
How she comes out, I make no promises.
Okay. Okay. So, short term, what's the plan? If any.
Three out of 5 of us have been bitten, and the wounds aren't closing, and that is not normal. I'm gonna have to spend a day trying to find out if this is a disease of the natural kind or if it's a magical affliction. And then I'm not going to be able to fight that day. And we have to move again because they know where we are. Short term, the plan is to make sure the party's okay to continue the plan.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'm going to speak with her. And I'm not going to lie to you. You can't be in the room while it happens.
I'll be fine.
I'm going to walk over and gingerly put my hand on Darren's knee. You trusted me this far. Trust me on this one too.
Make a persuasion check.
I was just now rolling. It's an 8. He's. I'm gonna change up my dice. Can I roll again?
No.
Can I roll with advantage because I saved his father?
You saved his father.
I did save his dad.
What are you planning on doing to her? Just talking.
Unseemly things.
Rem. She's my sister.
I know she is, but I have to think about a lot of things right now, dude. I'm gonna hope that nothing comes to that, but like I said, she could wake up and not even recognize you.
Isn't
You
it,
see her as your sister, but I have no clue what she sees you as.
isn't it worth a try?
We will try it for sure, but I'm saying if this, I'm saying don't get your hopes up for a fairy tale ending here. I respect you enough to tell you the truth. I'll do what I can. I'll speak with who I can. I'll figure something out. And if worse comes to worse, which I hope it doesn't, we'll figure something out. Okay?
Okay. Yeah. So, anything else you guys want to be doing tonight?
I'm gonna go medicine check Zach's.
Okay.
I'm gonna check on his wound. I'm gonna give myself guidance. $25.
25. The bite marks that Zex has sustained, as he now has multiple, They're puncture wounds, mostly around the base of his neck or shoulder. They are very clean, one of them more ripped than the other. And you can see the veins around them are black. The skin around itself has a cold feeling to it.
Real quick.
Tell this is no natural affliction.
No.
This doesn't feel like a disease. It feels more like a curse almost.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Gil, Suna.
Do you want me to try another spell?
I gotta go watch the clip
I'm
again. I'm sorry.
I'm not even like. Is there like a corner that I can go around, JC?
The thing about Foremount is there was snow when you guys were getting there, but as soon as you hit the field, there has not been snow piles. It's just been cold and muddy. There's mud. There's not snow.
Well, yeah, there's mud and there's grease and there's snow. There's a lot of stuff going on right now.
So, what are you guys
I'll
doing?
take your silence as a yes.
I just Suna. I swear to God. I thought you were actually going to be capable of helping, but obviously it was a massive foresight.
Keep in mind, Grumpy, you asked for this.
I asked for you to help me.
I told you the rules. I told you the rules, buddy. I don't know what to tell you.
Do this again and I won't be so docile. Keep that in mind.
Oh. Yeah, whatever.
Am I still greasy too?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
God.
I felt very greasy.
Just how do I get this off of me?
It's a good question.
This was your own spell.
I
How do you not know how to get it off?
don't know how to cast that. I don't even know what spell that is.
After
That's
a
not what I
minute-
you
casted.
don't even
After
know
a
what
minute
that spell
passes, the grease disappears.
I don't know that spell. That's how my magic works. Shit just happens sometimes.
As you kind of glance down at yourself, both you and Suna, besides the bit of mud that you guys got from falling over, do not have any more grease on you.
Hooray.
I'm just gonna sit in silence.
Sure.
Also, still staying like vigilant to see if I can see the strange man.
Okay. So, anything else you guys are doing for the night?
After a while, I want to go in and sleep.
I would also like to sleep.
Okay. So, with nothing else happening for tonight, speak now or forever hold your peace. Sorry, Zex.
Oh, fine. Okay. Have a first level in cure wound. Shove it up your ass. Take it. Take this 13 HP and get the fuck out.
Zex, you jolt awake.
I'm gonna fill him in on what's happened.
I was gonna say, what the fuck is going on?
Blah blah blah. Darren's sister. Blah blah blah. Anger. Blah blah blah. Pinky up the butt. You get the rest.
Cool. Do you want me to wake her up?
No. Leave it.
What happened to the guy?
Escaped.
Do you want me to go see if I can find him?
No.
It's
We're in
not
no
worth
condition.
it. I have a feeling we'll be seeing him again.
Okay, well, here's what's gonna happen. Everyone's sleeping in the hut. No one gets a choice.
Fine.
If you can fit all of us in there.
I'm double checking right now. 9 creatures of medium size or smaller. Yes, I can fit everyone in there.
6, 7, 8, 9. One person cannot fit in there.
Did you count Vampire Lady with us?
Nope.
Wait,
6,
who all is there?
7,
So there's the
8, 9, 10.
oh.
Yeah.
6.
There's 10 of you, not
Yeah.
including the vampire girl.
I'll spend the night with the vampire lady.
No, I'll do it.
Oh, it's fine. I got.
I can do it.
No. I will do it.
Everyone else, get your ass over here. Move this vampire lady away.
No. You have to go farther back into the room. My guardian is still there. It can't move. I can't move it.
I sleep right here. That's good. Yeah,
The dome cannot encase the thing.
I know. We're good. Here is good.
Why don't you come back here?
Let me be clear. Everyone is inside of this dome. I'm not casting it until everyone's
Come
in there,
back
JC.
here.
I refuse.
Okay,
This is
Elise
fine.
kind of moves.
How-
Make a Constitution saving throw. Move to the back of the room, or I will put you back of the bus.
I'm making a con saving throw right now.
Go back there.
17.
Okay, that's your warning shot. Go back there.
Did you
I don't
just...
need you up here crowding me.
I'm not crowding shit.
You are crowding me. I need the room for the Guardian to breathe. It cannot get through this bubble. You've effectively cut off one whole side of it. There's no purpose of you
Let's be
being here.
clear. Nothing else can get over on that side of it, though.
Then
Doesn't
why
that
don't
make
you go to
it
the back?
easier? Doesn't that make life easier?
No! It makes it less effective.
How so? Considering they have to pass by the Guardian on that other side, then.
Sax, just move to
Whatever.
the back.
Whatever. Fine.
Just go to the back. Next time I'm leaving you fucking unconscious. I don't need you arguing with me right now, okay?
Wow. Alright. Let's sleep off some of the nerves then. Okay, so 9 people are going in the dome.
Gil, get your ass down here.
Gil's already in there.
There he is. He wasn't, though. Did he come in with Suna? Did I miss it?
I'm dragging some of these cots to barricade the door.
Are you sure you can pick those up?
You want to make a con save?
Okay, I'm casting Tiny Hut as a ritual.
Okay.
I'm moving the cots.
Okay, as you move cots in front of the door.
I want to cover the entire door so they can't peek in.
Okay.
I want cover.
So, is that where your sleeping room?
I want to kind of barricade the door with my body a bit too. Well, no, I want to stay within range of the thing, so I'll sleep back here.
Okay. So, with this, you all find rest.
What kind?
troubled rest.
Ah,
Damn it.
As you all kind of drift off to sleep, still breathing heavily, no longer as comfortable in the hideout. You all get your long rest.
Yes. Finally.
Finally.
So, the big thing, Zex, Gil, Suna, you guys that got bit, that HP does not regain.
So when I got bit by the bird lady, you
Mhm.
never told me to knock down my hit point maximum. So I never did. Was I supposed to?
With the necrotic damage, if I forgot to tell you, that's on me.
Hey.
So, as you all find yourselves coming awake, most of you because the bit of stagnant air that the dome keeps out begins to leak in as the dome dissipates. You all find yourself conscious. It is a new day. What would you all like to do? As everyone around you just starts kind of stretching and
Cool.
moving away.
wait,
So
did I regain my spell slots at the very least?
Yeah, it was a long
Here's-
rest.
Okay.
Rem, a thought occurred to me last night. Is Rem awake or is Rem still sleeping? Do I need to wake up Rem?
When, as you kind of begin coming over, Rem begins stirring.
Rem. Do you want to go to the library and see if there's some kind of cure for whatever is going on with Daron's sister?
I'll figure it out myself today.
Okay.
Mordak, is this
Jake.
place vented?
Normally we just get a draft in through the door from underneath and above.
If I seal off the ladder, are we going to suffocate?
How are you planning on sealing it?
By literally shaping the stone around the floor, closing it off.
Yeah, the air will begin to get stale. These were not made lovingly over time. They were quick and hastily made and are always in progress. They are not up to standard. That's the best way of putting it.
I'm going to switch my spells around for the day and let everyone know that today, I guess we're spending the day here.
So, you guys are
Fine.
free to do whatever you want.
Okay, so I have a question about the Cloak of the Bat real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So it says in its description that if it's dim, light, or darkness, I can use my action to cast polymorph on myself and transform into a bat, right?
Yep.
If while I am a bat, I go into like just normal light levels, do I automatically unpolymorph out of it, or do I stay as a bat?
I do not believe you unpolymorph.
Okay.
I believe you stay as a bat.
Well, I'm gonna tell Rem then. Rem, I'm going out to scout. I won't get caught. Promise.
Fine.
And then the light level in the mine back in there. What's the light level in there? Because I assume it's like normal in the actual cave area.
Dark.
It's dark. Okay, I'm going into the cave. I'll do polymorph and then I'll fly out.
Okay. As you polymorph inside of the cave. You make your way there, and you go through several wooden supports. It's a very, very small, like only enough room for one by one person as you kind of flap your way until you reach a dead end. It is
Okay.
very exactly and precisely just a tunnel that is incomplete.
Well, what I meant was go out the door back into the main room and then outside.
Ah, okay.
So that's my bad.
No, it was a misunderstanding. So, do any of you move the cots out of the way that are currently barricading the door for Zex then?
Y'all
Guess-
see this bat flapping around the door.
I guess I will.
Okay.
Like I'll like slightly move one and see if it does him any
Yeah.
good.
Pull aside one of the cots and shove open the door a bit, and the bat slips through.
I guess I'll close the door and put the cot back.
Okay. Well, Zex is gone. Are you guys doing anything?
I'm sending a sending spell to Barris.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Pointy teeth, night stalkers, compulsion, necrotic wounds not healing. I already said puncture wounds, didn't I?
Pointy teeth is what you said.
Puncture wounds. Treat as curse or disease. Things are rough. I hate it here. Whole message.
You wait probably a minute or so before. I don't blame you for hating it there. If they are physically weaker, I'd say disease. If the wound just won't close, that would be a curse.
Oh, I thought so.
That's your message.
Okie doke. Gil, come here.
Yeah.
I'm giving him a physical.
All right.
I'm giving myself guidance.
You can make a medicine check.
Shit. Oh, shit. Oh, 8.
8.
Tip top health.
I mean, it's not you've seen the wounds on him, but they're wounds. They got some black.
I'd be
on
hurting.
them.
I'm casting remove curse.
Okay.
3rd level slot.
3rd level slot. Gil, you were bit by Selmath, weren't you?
Yes. Let me tell you.
No. It was the Goliath. The Goliath bit
The
him.
Goliath bit him.
That's right.
Okay. As you cast out this magic, you watch as the radiant green energy finds its way into Gil's wound. And you watch, even though the puncture does... excuse me, I almost just sneezed. As the puncture wound does not close in itself, you watch as the black veins surrounding it kind of move back, and it just looks like 2 small puncture wounds now.
Do I get my HP back?
We'll find out.
God.
Let's give him a first level cure wounds. See if this closes over.
Roll healing.
6.
Gilgamesh, you restore 6 of those hit points.
Whoa.
Is the wound beginning to close?
The wound begins to close.
Okay.
Gilgamesh, your hit point maximum is restored. However, you are still missing those hit points.
Oh, so my max is restored. I just don't have them.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, that bears well for us.
Hold on. When this is done happening, I'm over here. Rem, are you done? Like, are you done? Are you done
I'm done with your physical.
fandangling with me? Okay.
You want to see if was this good for you?
So I'm gonna like start walking back towards like the cot on the left.
Mm-hmm.
But as I'm going back, I just want to say, Suna, this is what I meant by some help.
Yeah, I know what you meant the first time. I gave you the fucking rules.
And I'm gonna sit on the cot, sharpening my sword.
Okay.
My shit's a little different.
All right. Anything else you guys
All right.
are doing?
Suna, come on.
Ugh. Where's Ram? Oh, there's Ram.
Pop. Remove curse. 3rd level slot.
Okay.
Ow.
Watches once again the black veins on her neck stop, and now it is just puncture wounds.
Okay.
Oh, I'm starting to get accustomed to that.
We'll give you some later. Is our vampire friend awake?
She's not facing you as of the moment. She's kind of lying on the ground, and she has not moved.
I'm gonna try to nudge her awake.
You
Alright.
nudge. Kind of, you watch as the body.
Oh,
just
it's not gentle.
turn over. And you hear an exhale come from the body. What?
What did Darren say his sister's name was?
Rachel.
Oi, Rachel. That's your name, right?
Curious how you know it.
Because I know your brother.
Do you?
There he is over there.
She can't move right now.
I'll move her up, avoiding her teeth.
You kind of shift her over. That's not my brother. My brother died.
Who told you that?
Oh, as my head hurt.
Sorry about that.
Oh. Right. It looks like she kind of shifts to like trying to raise her hand to her head, but she's bound and shackled. She just kind of looks down and is like, I can see why. Mm-hmm. And her eyes just kind of pass over.
Once I see Rem like messing with her and like all that, I'm gonna go over and make sure that she doesn't pull anything funny. And if she does, she will cease to live.
Okay.
Can you answer a few questions for me?
Oh, I would love to. It's my favorite thing to do. Please.
So you said your brother died, right?
Of course. And
You know, the only reason you're alive right now is because your kin says we can't kill you.
is that so? Well, I am curious if we are allowed to trade questions, how you got such a complex. Sure, he looks like him. It's just he was young when he left. He wasn't all grown up. My big brother. If I had to guess what he'd look like if he didn't die, I would almost have that as a T. To the T. But my brother didn't make it past the woods.
Darren, why don't you share a childhood story with us?
You can see him just kind of like leaning up against the cot. I'm Rachel. I mean, it's less of a story for you and more of a memory for me, but do you remember you had a small green book? You got it from Mom and Dad on your birthday. You were 8. You said you didn't want it, but you did. You were a bad liar then, and I wish you were a bad one now, because you hid it under your bed, and I would wager that it's still there, because I never moved it. I don't know if Dad knew where it was. But I could always hear you writing in it late at night. Things that happened. The good, the bad. The indifferent. It's what you enjoyed doing. Dad said you could be a writer. I agreed with him. She kind of... her face just kind of set, looking at him as he kind of goes through this. Oh, this is convincing. How are you doing this? I want to know. At the very least, you talked to Father, right? You're the ones that you probably took him to. I deserve an answer. There's no way you would be the ones who'd killed my brother, but there's... more than likely you're the ones responsible for my father. Well?
She's directing this question towards us?
Yeah, she's looking between the three of you, going from Gil to Suna to you, kind of like looking back and forth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we took him.
Bastards.
We took him, we freed him of his charm, and we sent him somewhere safe.
He's...
He's alive.
I kept him safe here.
You kept him
You
relatively
took
safe
him from
compared to
me.
the others.
He's the only family left. He's the only one still alive, and now you take my father from me and taunt me with images of what my brother could have been. Beasts. Bastards. Monsters.
Okay.
This is going well.
Okay. Tell me, what would we gain by showing you images of your brother?
Monsters don't need reason. You just act monstrous. It's just what you do.
What would convince you that I am a monster?
My father is gone, and you've admitted to it.
He's not dead. We took him outside of town because when we brought... The only reason we took your father is because your brother over there told us to come and get him when we told him the condition that he was in. That is why we took your father. I don't know you from a hole in the wall. I came here because he convinced me to.
Make a persuasion
Now
check,
tell me
Ren.
how an after image I created convinced me to deal with this.
Make a persuasion check.
I have advantage.
No.
24.
I don't know. You had to. You had to. It's... I don't know. She kind of swaps from looking between all of you at the ground for a second, then locks eyes with Darren. I'm here. It's me. I don't know if Dad or someone else told you I didn't make it, but I'm fine. I shouldn't have left, but we're here. Dad's okay. I swear. And she's just breaks eye contact with him and just kind of looks at the ground. Who are you people? Who are you?
You could consider us a roaming band of mercenaries that just happened to end up at this place.
Right. She just, from the position that you set her in, she just lays down on the ground and looks up at the ceiling.
Though I guess in your position you could call us friends of the family at this point.
I can't believe I still have a family. Zex, what are you doing?
I'm going to the castle.
Okay. As you kind of...
As high in the air as I can get.
Okay. You get kind of high as a bat, but eventually when you start hitting like the above 100 feet, the winds start whipping around. So trying to stay a bit below that,
Mm-hmm.
you begin making your way to the castle, the familiar prongs of it. In the three, the middle one jutting up to being about 120 feet tall, straight up and down. The ones on the side being about 90 feet.
So I want to go up to the roof and start looking for possible entry routes that we could take to get in there.
Okay. As you kind of just around, make a perception check for me.
Okay. 24.
24. You kind of circle around. Are you aiming towards the northern, like the north side of the castle, like the middle, the eastern wing, the western wing? Anything specific?
Western. And then we'll work our way east from there.
Okay. So, you make your way up and looking first at the top, the spiral of 90 feet. You can see the top of this prong actually is a cut off top, coned roof with a balcony. What you can see as you move around is there's a window and a door that lead and look out on this balcony, and the balcony itself is a 360-degree balcony.
Okay. Let's keep looking.
Okay. You going to the middle one then?
Yeah.
Okay. As you begin heading up, as you cross into the highest parts of it, the wind picks up as you cross over above the 100-foot mark. I would like you to make a general athletics check using the stats of a bat.
Ah, crap.
Bad part about polymorph.
Not athletics, so strength?
Yep.
Wow, 0.
What do you roll?
I rolled a 4.
You have a -4 modifier to strength?
And I'm a bat.
As you kind of your way up, the wind knocks you and you actually tumble for about 30 feet before reorientating yourself as you're like, I don't want to fall, and you back up. Fell about a clean, you're about 70 feet up right now. You can't get to the top of it, but as you look, you can see a similar circle-esque on the top of that one.
Okay, how long has it been since I cast the polymorph?
You are technically beginning to run out of time.
Technically.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
want to take
because
one
polymorph lasts for an hour.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's running out. I've given at this point. I just kind of remembered it because you were flying, and I believe bats have an extended fly speed.
Let's find out real quick.
Bats.
Nope, fly speed is 30 feet.
Okay, so technically you shouldn't have been able to get to the tower in the first place with the hour of time, but I'm just going to discount that
What
and
if
say
he's
that
dashing while flying?
I know, but it's still not enough to get the amount of time to get in town, through the town, up the hill, up to the tower. So I'm just going to say you're running out at this point. Just to keep what I've given you.
Let's get out of here.
Okay. As you make your way down, and as you make it back to the village, you and yourself. Excuse me. I'm not having a good time tonight. Jesus. As you make your way to the like edge of the village that borders the castle, you transform back into Zex.
Okay. So I want to stealth and then make my way back to the hideout, and I want to keep my eyes out for any. Actually, I don't want to go back to the hideout. I want to stealth and then go check out the cart.
Okay. Make me a stealth check.
24.
Okay. Eventually, with more time passing, you weave your way through the streets silently and skillfully until you arrive at the outer skirts of the town. Outskirts. I'm the best. And from what you can see in between, about where the field starts, you can see tents and another cart.
Tents and another cart. Is there anyone standing around the tents?
You see 2 tents. They have people in Foremount armor standing around. They've lit a fire that is in between the 2 tents. You can see some of them are in the process of like just poking at the fire, keeping it maintained. Other people seem to be designated watch and are kind of looking both ways. A pair of 2 looks out into the fields, another 2 look back in towards the city, and then on top of the cart that is there, you can see, no longer tied up to it and just kind of there, kind of lying down, just breathing in and out, these 2 like very large bestial looking oxen. Ox are very big animals and beasts of burden. These 2 seem bigger. And
Do I see the...
Yeah. And
Sorry,
finally, lying on top of the cart, his feet kind of kicked over each other. You can see lying there a human wearing this very, very fine, simple, yet expensive looking leather like cloak. And kind of trailing off the side of the cart, you can see a gray looking whip that kind of trails off into the dirt.
Okay.
None of them seem to see you.
How far away from the cart am I?
About 500 feet.
500?
There's a bit of a different, like, there's layers to this town. Like, there's the farm layer,
So is it...
and then the 500 feet to the town layer, and then 200 feet from the town to the actual castle wall.
So in between me and the cart is just like farmland?
Open land, and then the cart, and then it goes into farmland.
So if I tried to go up, what you're saying is I would definitely be seen unless I was like invisible.
Yeah.
And even then, it's not for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay. Well. Have either of my glyph of wardings gone off? I would know if they were dispelled as well, I believe.
As far as you know, neither of them have gone off.
Let's just go back to the hideout, I guess.
Okay.
Stealthily.
So, also, just to warn you, The glyphs do not tell you, like, do not warn you when they are dispelled or triggered. You don't think they're triggered because the cart's still there and the cart doesn't look like it's taken any damage. But if they had dispelled them, you wouldn't know.
Do I know if they've gone off, though? Like, if it's triggered, would I know?
It does not say. It just says, once it is triggered, the spell ends. There is no text that says you are aware.
Alright. I guess I'm headed back to the hideout then.
Okay. As you kind of head back in. Any final conversations Suna, Gil, Rem want to have while this is happening?
No.
Alright. Nothing else. Zex, you make your way down the ladder, and everyone can hear Zex descending. As you push on the door is still kind of held by the cots. And you hear, and you can see Mordak's face kind of there. I figured it was you. Right. And together he lets you squeeze in through the door, closes it.
Awesome. Okay.
Well, were you any success? I don't know what you were looking for.
I was sort of looking for a way to get into the castle.
Right.
There's a couple higher platforms up on the tower that we might be able to get in through. They don't look super heavily guarded. If we can get close enough, I can get us up there.
Okay. Sure. The rest of you have seen Zex come in.
All right. So are you content knowing that this is your living brother and your family is still alive?
She doesn't answer.
This is a two-way street. I need you to cooperate with me.
I'm not. She's just kind of muttering to herself.
Can we send her to go stay with her father?
Not like this.
Do you know how to fix whatever this is?
Gil, show him.
Her affliction specifically, not what she can do to us.
I'm assuming that the infliction that she can do to you is the same thing that she has. The issue is that when I cure her affliction, I don't know what it's going to do to her body. She should be nearing her 40s. She looks like she's 10. I don't know if that's going to rubber band and fuck her up. I don't know.
Wasn't she Darren's younger sister? Like
She
little?
was,
How old is Darren?
Darren is like approaching his 30s. So she's only like maybe like a little less than a decade off from what she should look like. It's not like she's supposed to be 40.
Rem, I
You
think your
said
perception here is a
He
little
was gone
different.
for 20 years. Like 20, 25 years you said he was gone. Because you said that Tiber didn't come into power until this time, and he left that long ago.
He left
The
when
ages
he
you've
was He left when he was, I believe he told you, he left when he was 5 and shit. Uh,
Because she was 8.
She left when she was 8. So he'd be like, no, he'd still be like, he wouldn't be late 20s. He'd be over into the 30s. So she'd still be in her 20s. That's still, I don't know where you got 40 from.
You said he's been gone for 25 years. I didn't know he wandered into the woods with a stick and a prayer.
I think that you didn't say 25 years. I think you said
this was
Tiber
the
had been in
timeline he
power for
was
25
giving.
years.
And he said that Tiber wasn't in power when he left. The timeline's fucked. Doesn't matter. How old is she supposed to be and how old does she look?
She's supposed to be somewhere in her 20s, and she looks like somewhere in her teens.
Yeah, so here's what we're going to do, Rem. I am going to go to the library and see what I can figure out about this. And then we'll see what we can do.
Girl, you want me to heal your affliction, yes or no?
She just sighs.
I don't assume you became this way willingly, because when we went to your home, I could damn near see your fingernails still embedded in the wood.
I could see them.
I didn't choose this, but I understand why now. Protection was necessary for my family. I thought I saw what happened to my brother. I did not want to see it happen to my father.
Who's the other guy you were with?
Not by blood, but he was my brother. Made to be my brother.
Do you know his real parentage? Was he kidnapped like you?
I assume.
Does he care?
That's what I was thinking.
He's the... He was there before me. He's younger, but he's more set in his ways. He probably I don't know. He says his Kental was his mother. Kental? He remembers his mother. Maybe... I am made to be his older sister. He is my decided younger brother. He was... I was given to my younger brothers as a protector. They were noble, more noble than I, and they said they needed someone rougher, someone to teach them, someone to protect them. Say, the boys, you protect your brother.
You said... Sorry, go ahead.
She stops.
You said brothers? As in more than one?
2. And I have 2 brothers. She her eyes kind of look past all of you She kind of sits back up again, looks at Darren. I thought I only had 2 brothers.
Okay, last thing then. For me, at least, I'm sure Rem would still like to continue his conversation. Are you with us or against us? You tried to kill us, clearly.
You are monsters. It's what you're supposed to do. Is teaching your brothers. They needed to learn how to kill monsters.
You still think we're monsters?
I don't know.
Well, you need to make your choice, because at some point we are going to go into that castle and take on Tiber. And if your brother is in the way and he doesn't get out of the way, he's going to die.
Brolin will never get out of your way. If you're going for Tiber, he's going...
Roland?
Brolin.
Roland.
He's one of my brothers.
What's he like?
Charming. You feel compelled to do what he tells you to.
Is that the one that was here with you last time?
He's the more experienced of the 2. The other one's too young to go out. He's just there to be protected. For me to protect him. So.
Well, you didn't exactly answer my question. Are you with us or against us?
I don't know. It's confusing. My head hurts and it's all wrong.
The conditions that go with Brolin go for you as well. If you get in our way, I will not hesitate to take your head.
Gil, you're not really helping.
I don't disagree with him. She
Helping
has
or
to make
not,
a choice.
she
Either
needs
she's
to know
with
the
us or against
consequences
us.
of her actions.
All right. I'm going to look to see if there's a cure for whatever you are. If I find one, do you want me tell Rem about it and see if we can fix you?
I'm going to attempt to do it right now. So
now?
decide.
Darren kind of moves up closer to you guys. You're going to attempt to do what?
I'm going to attempt to deal with her affliction. It may work. It may not. I don't know. The stem of the affliction seems to be Tiber. So if I can't deal with it here, I go to the roots of the tree. Tiber.
Right.
But she seems willing enough to cooperate. So I don't think I have to cut her head off. And we can just leave her here. Come back later. Beats the hell out of dying, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, it's good. We keep her here.
I'm gonna look towards her. Before I attempt to do this, can you answer a few more questions?
Sure.
Tell us about the remaining barons.
Well, Tulum is a wonderful, caring man. He checks in on us and makes sure we're fed and takes us on, the youngest of us, on walks around the grounds. I'm sure Tiber tells him to, but he's fine. She's Berlin's mother. She's very doting on him, you know, as mothers are. She's very proud of him. She's was talking to someone else there, so she's, you know, I don't know, she's around when she can be. Let's see. And 10. There's a father of the youngest, and he's harsh. And being harsh is important for a father figure. And he's the busiest out of all of them. He doesn't come around too much, but when he does, we're happy to have him. I don't know what you want.
Are the other barons like you?
You mean changed?
That's the word you want to use for it.
Sure. Yes. All of us. I'm sure at some point, unless if they did it to us. All that I know is at one point I woke up in the ground and welcomed when I crawled back out. That's the last thing I remember before being adopted. Or after. Something. Right. Any other questions?
So,
Mm-hmm.
this might be painful.
God.
This might not work.
Mm-hmm.
And once I do this, you can never go back. You'll be living in the world you were before with your father and your brother of normal folk. No more slipping into cradles and biting children.
Never slipped into cradles and bit children. What are you talking about?
This one over here that talks a lot's kind of a baby.
Technically, I'm a child.
Technically. Figures of speech.
Not. Never mind.
Figures of speech.
It's ironic to be considered a monster by the monsters you were hunting.
Wait.
Your bite, what does it do?
It. I can't describe it. I thought I was. I don't know. It's 1 second of me clawing, and then the next second I taste blood. It's bizarre. It's interesting.
Why don't you open your mouth for me?
Going to pull teeth.
I thought about it, but I'd rather just take a look. This is already going to be painful, and since you were so nice to cooperate with us, I think I can show you some form of kindness. I was already rough with you when you were unconscious anyway.
I'm gonna put my great sword away and just tell Rem, I am willing to pull teeth if you'd like
Please don't pull
a better
my
look.
teeth. She
Oh, I
opens her
thought
mouth.
we were monsters. Are we not?
She said, please pull her teeth?
As she said, please do not pull my teeth.
Okay, I was gonna say, wait a minute.
I mean, she might be into it.
Amish dentist time?
Just grip the tooth and rip.
Wait. Are you doing it? Is it happening right
No,
now?
She opens her mouth and you can see two long pointed teeth at the top. It's the most obvious change.
what else is there?
Well, I bet I can climb better than any of you. I can... Goodness. My hands can... Well, my nails grow very fast. I'm sure you saw those. Those teeth, trust me, I've tried to get rid of them before, back before I truly understood my purpose here, and they'd come back within a minute. Whether I've accepted where I am or not, I'm stuck here.
Anything else?
Just, I would like to say is... I thought I was protecting my home.
Wait, I have a couple questions left.
Yes. I'd be so honored to hear them.
Your brothers who are in the castle,
Mm-hmm.
could you convince them to not, I don't know, fight us when we go there?
Brolin is a noble person. He has a very clear sense of right and wrong, and as far as he's concerned, you are all wrong. I don't know. I mean, I didn't think I would ever be talking to people I was told to kill, but I'm surprised. The youngest, he's tricky. He's brash and does what he wants. I have to play the part of the scary big sister to get him to do what he doesn't, but that's okay. You have to be strong for your younger siblings, even if it's not something you want to do. So, what are you doing?
Jacob, I really need...
I'm going to attempt to heal your affliction. I do not know what it's going to do to your body. I do think this is going to be rather painful. I don't even know if it'll work, and if it doesn't, well, we'll figure it out from there. What do you think? Or would you rather stay this way? I personally abhor it. I think it's an affront to God, and it's my life purpose to put undead like you down. But I'm giving you the option.
I'm not undead.
I'm gonna use my eyes to the grave ability.
Me? She's undead.
Yeah, God says you're a liar.
The phrase of "I woke up under the ground" sounds kind of sus to me.
I don't... Fair.
I can say with 100% conviction in my heart with the authority of God, you're undead.
Okay.
Rem, if things go terribly south, would you like me to finish the job, per se?
No. You didn't choose to be this way, did you? You complied because you were afraid,
I
give or take.
don't remember complying, actually. I was... It took months of time to inform me of what I was...
That's a nat 20 on my insight for a total of 29.
Okay. You believe her.
All right, yeah, sounds good.
It's one hella persuasive vampire.
Damn. They do have like plus 11. I could be fucked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wait a minute. Okay, continue.
That's all. I was... They took months for them to make me see my purpose. I was difficult before, trying to get out, trying to pull my teeth out, trying to pull my nails. They stuck me in a room until they could convince me, and I was difficult. But they made me see, eventually, what I was meant to do.
Do you still agree with it?
Oh, by gods, I wonder if I came here and I was ordered to kill you. Oh, gods. I don't know anymore. I've just had a very, very weird morning. I hope you all understand that. My dead brother's not dead. My dad, who I thought was dead, was not dead, apparently. And what my family that adopted me is a lie? I don't know. It has been a very bad morning.
I understand. So, do you want me to attempt to treat you for this affliction?
Darren's just kind of behind you. Do you think you can treat her then?
You cut out for me.
He's Darren behind you. You think you can treat her then? Yes?
In some way, shape, or form. Yes, I'm understanding this a lot better, but there's still a lot of holes here.
Right.
It's also a shame I can't pull teeth.
Hey, Jacob,
Mhm.
have I heard any myths or legends, seeing that I am a bard, about anything about any of this?
Make a religion check.
Not as many as I would have, right?
19?
19. I'll let Rem make one as well.
I already labored into the delusion that I did this. I talked about fairy tales and shit like that.
Yeah. So
Because I know, like, a bit, just because of background. I'll make one if you want me to.
I want to see how much you got.
But I
And are you
I
just
try to
looking
take
for
it real easy on it.
general details, Zex? What are you looking for?
Whatever you'll give me.
On what specifically? I
All
need
of it.
specifics that you're trying to think of. What are you racking your brain for?
Anything pertaining to undead who, over some means, became not undead anymore.
Okay. So, 19, Rem, did you get anything?
16.
Okay. So, it's it's a very, very rare thing. First of all, undead themselves are not too common past skeletons coming back for restless spirits. It's a it's not, so seeing undead in the first place is not the most common thing. The general thing is, are they undead through like a resurrection type of means, or are they undead through a curse? If they're undead through somewhat natural or unnatural means, it's very, very difficult to do anything with it. Past the most powerful of people reincarnating them or resurrecting them after slewing the undead form, it is impossible. However, if it is a curse, the curses are made in the stories you've heard. Whenever there's a curse, it is made to be broken. So the first thing that both of you can think of is trying to find out if this is a curse or was she turned.
Can I do a medicine check to try and find that out?
Sure.
Is that reasonable?
Sure.
17.
17. As you look over the exposed parts of her body, as Rem had wrapped her up in a cocoon-esque fashion, her skin is very pale. Her hair, although thick, is very tattered, matted, and messy. Her hands, the bits that you can see are exposed, are worn, weathered, and bloody. And her eyes are like you can see they were originally like a bluish, like how Daeron's is, but there's like almost a red color correction to them now. You can't tell how she became it, but you can clearly tell the body is not in a living form. You detect no pulse or heartbeat.
Rem, I don't think that whatever you're going to do is going to work.
I think so. Usually when things that are resurrected in the traditional manner of undead, they show some forms of decomposition. Her body is all in one piece.
I'm going to share everything that I got out of the medicine check, because that doesn't seem... It seems like she's a walking corpse.
I figured this out while you were gone.
Okay, then how does... If the tissue is dead, then she's dead. Decomposition can be counteracted through magical means, especially if it's undead, yeah?
I'm not dead, by the way.
You're close. You're close. You're pushing it. And yes, you are.
I would consider doing more research into this before we attempt something, especially considering you don't know what it's going to do. I know you don't like it, but
It worked on their wounds. I already
our wounds were
consulted with
completely
Varys.
different.
Why, if it is a curse, why would it work any differently?
Because from what it sounds like, she was killed and then buried. And then
That was
she
just
came
the
back.
ritual by which she got to this point. That wasn't like, she didn't decompose. She wasn't reanimated with necrotic energies. She is coherent and has memories of her past life. She did not pass and something was forced into her. She's in there. Or something that thinks that it's her is in there. You get what I mean?
I can hear you.
Do you get what I mean then?
Sure.
Okay. I want to do more research into it. You do whatever you want. Okay?
When do you get the right to check me on undead?
I think I can check you on whatever the hell I want.
I'd like to know when you thought that you had enough in your skull to check me on undead. As if I haven't been doing this longer than you've been alive.
Look, you can't
Now,
throw
I'd
that in
love
my...
to run off and go and investigate it. I really would. But we're on a time crunch here.
I'm with Rem on this. We don't have time to be looking this up. It either works or it doesn't.
And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I've made it clear to everybody here that this is what it's going to be. And everybody signed on to it.
Well, what if it hurts and or kills her?
Bummer.
She's
accepted
already
that.
dead. You don't think that she's an actual person at this point, is what you're saying here.
You're all very sweet.
Look,
That's not what I'm saying at all.
so you're asking why do I think it's a curse then?
Never mind. Do whatever.
I'm really curious why you're pushing back on me with this.
Because it's Dayron's sister, and if this goes wrong, then Dayron's not going to want to stick here. Dayron's going to be pissed. It's going to be a whole clusterfuck.
I explained to Darren what was going to happen. I already told him everything about this last night. If he doesn't want me to try, then we'll look into it and leave it alone. It's their choice. I didn't tell them I was going to do it. I gave them a choice. You want to reaffirm their choices with them? Go ahead.
I do. Okay. So I am going to reaffirm your choices with you. Would you prefer to stay like this, in this form, that is to say still alive in whatever manner that you are, still tied up, while we check this out to see if this is actually a viable means?
I'm sorry, this is... You're planning on going to the library to do what you think is saving me.
Would you rather stay like this?
I've been saying I don't know all this time. It's a wonderful thing of looking between you all, because although it's I didn't get to see any of you bleed. It's morbid, but whatever. Didn't get to see any of you bleed. I can see all of you yamble and yell at each other, and you're all very well at doing that. It's funny is all. I feel like I've been bested by a bunch of
Idiots.
That's the exact word that came to my mind.
I was gonna say nitwits, but sure.
What do you mean when you say you haven't seen us bleed?
Looks
You
over
bit
at
that one over
Gilgamesh.
Tasted her.
Oh yes, I did taste you.
Do I taste good?
You do. You taste. What was that? Was it a? Oh, it was a it's like a fruity flavor. Sweeter blood than normal. I can tell you've got a better diet than the monsters I've dispatched beforehand.
I mean, as long as you're taking bites of people, I'd give you a bite of me, but I guarantee you wouldn't like it.
Can we please just skip the pleasantries and get to what we're actually meant to do?
I would love to if someone wasn't pushing back on me about what I feel that I have to do. I genuinely would like to know why it is that out of all the times that you want to push back on something that we
I
all
already
know
gave you
that
my
I know,
reasons.
because you're worried about it. Darren's okay with it.
I'm worried about it, of course, Zex. but I don't feel like I have a choice.
You don't feel like we could wait and do more research into it and then try to deal
We
with it?
don't have time to wait.
We do have time. That's just it.
No, we don't. We don't have days to go across. How do we get
We
back
don't have
here?
to go
How
right
do we
now.
get back here?
I don't think you understand. I'm not saying that we have to go right now.
I'm saying that we can't leave her tied up, go deal with Tiber, and then carry it around her tied up body until we can do all this other stuff. Darren, make your choice. I think I can deal with this, and if it kills her, I could probably deal with that too. Or do you want to listen to Zex and leave her like this, and we can go poke around and try to find out? Which I don't think we'll find out.
I don't know. I don't know anything about this. I've hit things. I've studied fighting and art and poetry and history. I don't know what cures an undead sister.
And guess what I have studied?
Have you studied curing undead specifically?
I've studied undead. You don't really cure them because they don't come like this. Most undead aren't intelligent, is the thing you have to understand. They have no set. Most undead aren't people. They're corpses animated by foul energy and use the soul as fuel. They don't have any semblance of free will. They can't do anything that they're not told to do to the letter. If she was like a normal undead, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. She wouldn't even have the ability in her skull to rationalize the idea of, do I want this, yes or no? It'd be flat, no. She says she doesn't know, which means she has the wherewithal to notice things. This is the nature of intelligent undead. They become undead by various other ritualistic means. That's typically how this happens. Do I think it's going to work? I don't know. Do I think it's going to kill her? No. She's been like this for a short enough amount of time to where I don't think it's going to rubber band and kill her.
How long have you been like this?
Probably. Time's a bit weird. I've been with my adopted family probably 10 years-ish. Something like that.
So you're telling me a decade isn't long enough?
Not long enough to launch her body into the death throes. She hasn't been extended past her natural life just yet, is the thing I'm saying here. And as it stands, it seems like she's still been aging in some small capacity. At the end of the day, if we find out what we can do for her, are you going to be the one to do it?
I don't have the ability.
Exactly.
I'm just saying we should try to be as certain as possible before we do something that we don't fully understand.
I'm telling you, I understand it enough.
You just told me you don't know what's going to happen.
I understand enough to know the possible outcomes. Either it does this or it does this.
Sax, drop it.
All right. Anything you want to say before we try?
You're all idiots. That's all. All right.
I can tell we're gonna get along great.
Oh, I hope I still hate you when I'm not. Oh well, have at me.
I'm using remove curse in a 5th level slot.
Okay. So, as you kind of kneel down and you touch the top of her head, you can feel the cold flesh that is her, and her eyes kind of stare burning back into yours. As you release this, I would like you to make a wisdom check for me.
17.
17. As you place it and you concentrate, everyone around Rem actually notices the candles and lanterns in the hideout kind of lower light as the light level lowers and lowers until it's almost complete darkness with just a small glow around Rem and Rachel. As you focus in, pushing and trying to exert yourself, you feel there's something there, and then there's a roadblock. As you're forced out back into your own mind, an image of Tiber's smirking face ingrained in the inside of your head. As you pull off, sit back down, like you're kind of pulled from a sitting position, a kneeling position into a sitting position, and you're just breathing heavy. The light level returns to normal, and you see Rachel just kind of lying there. Skin's still pale, hair kind of out to the sides. Just lying there. At least you were honest to me. That hurt like hell. What was that?
I was trying to force the negative energies out of your body.
Well, the
and they
negative
didn't.
energies were apparently stopping me from having a fucking headache. Oh my god.
Look, look. I am not a medical professional.
I can
okay?
tell.
I'm as close to as a medical professional as you're gonna get.
Mm-hmm. Well. Any other ideas?
Yeah, we have to kill Tiber.
Oh, you're going to kill my adoptive father?
Well, as it stands, he owns you.
Yeah?
No, I literally mean the curse that is embedded in your body is fueled by him. He owns you.
Look, on a subconscious level, I probably agree with you, but come on, I can't actually agree and condone you going off this to kill my adoptive father. You can't do that.
Sure we can.
You have an actual father.
Right.
I don't expect you to condone in it. But I tried, didn't I?
You did. I have a hell of a headache.
I do too, believe it or not.
Really?
Would you like a sip of my wine?
I'm glad you share my pain. Am I too young for wine? No, I'm not too young for wine. I'd want
Technically. Do you want some? Here, have some. Have some with me. Have some with me. This will help the headache. Here. I'm gonna uncork a bottle and I'm gonna put it to her lips. And I'm giving her a sip.
As you give her a sip, she's that's oh my, you drink that?
I'm gonna take a swig from the bottle and just smirk it and say, "Yep,
Willingly.
willingly."
What kind of wine was this?
It's the golden wine.
This is
Oh
like
my
high
God.
class wine. She's like, it was
Here,
awful.
I'm gonna. Let's see. Do I have? I think I still have some of that port ale somewhere.
Does your headache feel better?
No. This feels worse, probably.
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 I can't tell anymore. At some point, thumping just becomes thumping, you know?
I found the quickest way to remove a headache is remove the head.
Shut up, Gil.
Don't remove my head. I'm not sure if I can grow that back.
I don't want to test it either.
It would be interesting, would it not?
Look, if she's not gonna let us pull teeth, I don't think she's gonna let us cut her head off.
It hurts. Just because they come back doesn't mean it doesn't hurt.
That's why I'm not doing it. You've been very considerate of us. I bet Mordak's just looking at us like, what the fuck are they doing? What the fuck is this?
Man's just been sitting here watching.
All the
He's been
candles
watching-
went in, he's just like,
He's been watching. To be fair, Elise is just kind of trying to like zone out this conversation. She's just over by the kids. And it's just... So are you just planning on keeping her here? That is your plan.
No, because this place is compromised, so we're gonna
Yes.
take her with us wherever we go.
yes.
Right.
How do you feel about sunlight, girly?
It's...
It
I mean,
hurts?
there's not much sunlight around here. There's a reason for that. It's because, yes, it fucking hurts. Sunlight's not
It's
good
almost
for
like
you.
you're. It's almost like you're undead or something.
I'm... Look, I can't prove it,
Look.
and you seem very convinced, but I'm
She
not
is
dead. I'm me. And this is a weird day, and I'm...
Check for your own pulse.
I can't.
She can't.
You've
She's
tied and
tied.
shackled me. It's...
Let one of her
Oh,
hands
boy.
out. Let her check for her own pulse.
Oh boy, I can't. Look, you try to find your own pulse once I couldn't do it, and you have one.
Hey, I'm an idiot though, so that doesn't really count.
That's fair, all of you are idiots.
Look, it was funny in the beginning, but now I'm really starting to understand. Like, I'm starting to think, like, yeah, we may sound like idiots, but we're also the one that dispatched 2 of the barons, one of them in their own home.
I do
Here.
not know how this... Oh, God.
Show her the hood you got from Selmith.
Oh yeah, pull that shit out of my bag of holding.
You've got to be kidding me.
In her own
gonna-
home.
I'm gonna stick it on my face real quick and see what happens.
As you guys watch, Zex pulls as it
God.
moves as it goes over his horns. His horns actually disappear as it's pulled down over his face. You watch as his entire facial region becomes a black void, and his eyes become just glittering green orbs.
How do I look?
In her own home.
I'm also, I'm gonna reach into my bag and pull out the horned devil horns.
Oh yeah.
And
Ooh, I
just
still have a
kinda-
basilisk tooth as well that I can pull out.
And just show that to her and just kind of say, I may be an idiot, but
Oh my God, where are you
it
getting
wouldn't be that hard
these?
to take your head as well as his.
Do I have anything for
They're just comparing dick sizes.
Oh, I think
I-
we also have the remains of a dragon sitting in the cart too.
I have a pound of wormling meat on me.
I've got the dead baby box in the car.
You see this phylactery?
You see this?
Are you sure you're all not monsters?
No, we
Look.
kill the monsters.
Oh, trust me, there's something.
It depends on your definition here.
Right. my definition.
Speaking
you?
of
A
monsters,
little bit.
are we gonna go deal with the
Yes.
foreman?
I want to sleep today. I'm not spec'd for combat. I'm spec'd for breaking curses. By the way, come here.
I'm right in front of you. I can't
Since you
get any
wanna-
closer.
Since you want to fucking question my methods,
I never said you couldn't cure me. I was just skeptical about your ability to cure her.
I gotta use it in a 4th level slot on you.
Okay. As you press it in, Zex, you feel the kind of cold sensation on your neck disappear. You do not regain the hit points, but your hit point max is back to its maximum.
Awesome sauce.
So if I untie you, are you gonna run away?
Okay.
You know, don't even answer it. I don't believe you. I
Thanks.
think you're gonna do it because I would do it.
You're very. I don't know why you asked.
I mean, can't really offer you anything else to drink.
I'm fine.
I can. I can. You want some of this stuff? I'm gonna pull the port ale or the port whatever it is out of my bag.
You know,
'Cause I don't know if it's ale.
half inclined to think that these are not given with good intent. I will abstain. Thank you very much.
Trust me, this stuff is good.
I'm fine.
Don't trust him.
I'm gonna
Okay.
take a. I'm gonna like gulp down some of this stuff.
It
We
burns.
can at least
Like 2 30 seconds of it.
Oh Jesus!
put you on one of the cots then.
That would be wonderful.
I guess I'm gonna try to help her get up and
You just
hobble her way to a cot.
push her up to her feet, and she's just kind of. It's like the shuffle. Where are you putting her?
On the cot.
I need to make a con
Right here.
save.
Nah, you're fine. You kind of move her onto the cot. She just kind of lies down. Just strangely, slightly better than being on the ground. Who would have thought?
Well, you didn't necessarily make a good first impression when
Neither
you were
did
ripping
you.
my friend's throat out.
Yeah, that's
Also, your sarcasm does
Look,
not really
no matter
help.
what you say about how bad our first impression on you was, you did break in here in the middle of the night and start ripping my friend's throat out.
I mean, it was fair.
We
Fair.
may be idiots, but
Yeah,
at least we do
fair.
it in front of your face. Oh, like I want to go back into the ground now, huh?
I mean, I don't know what would happen if I went back into the ground. Never
Well,
tried.
you're already here.
I mean, I don't think this counts.
It doesn't. Anyway, the foreman. He's next. He's sitting on my cart. They tell me he has a whip that burns,
Yeah.
and he cuts people into pieces. Any input you want to put in on that one?
Yo, Gil, you want to steal the whip with me?
You're suggesting I'm the one to go steal things?
I mean, we're gonna go kill him,
mean,
but for
We did a
now
pretty
we
good-
have to.
well, we
get
can
some-
we can get the whip today though.
Good luck.
Oh, watch me.
Thank
Why do you say good luck?
Appreciate it.
What's up?
I don't know. It was kind of a funny thing because honestly, I don't know where to put you all on how skilled you are because you don't look like you should be able to tackle a rambunctious horse, yet you've been able to apparently slay 2 of the barons.
Yeah. Is the foreman stronger or weaker than the Goliath?
I don't know. They're vying for power. One would tell you they're more strong than the other, and neither are allowed to fight each other, so they just cut people up.
Margo, let's go steal this whip. Suna, you want to come?
Yeah. I'll come with.
I'm running out of
Let's
spell
go.
slots and I'm not spec'd for a fight.
We're not fighting. We're just taking.
You're not
He
going to be
has
able
it.
to take it.
Yes, we
Without
will.
killing him.
Without killing him. You seen my skills. Actually, you didn't. You were super drunk when I last showed off my skills. But
Oh, I remember that, and you still got caught
didn't get
by a
caught.
drunkard, no less.
Did not get caught. Gil's
I
big
caught
mouth
you.
got me caught.
It doesn't
I did
matter.
not
You
get
got
caught.
caught.
If not for Gil, I would have been fine.
It
No
doesn't.
offense, Gil.
If not for the police, I would have got away with it. Same shit.
Are you the police? I don't think you are.
Zach's out
Are
the
you-
door.
Are you
I'm
making a
going.
con
I'm
save?
walking out.
You might
I'm
be.
walking out. I made my statement. Is Gil coming with me?
I wouldn't do that.
No.
Fine.
Okay, who's going out?
Me. No one else comes with. No one else comes with.
All right.
I'll
You
go
should
with
get Bobby
Zach's.
Okay, Zex.
I wouldn't do that.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
Zach's.
I know, Rem.
I solemnly swear to you, if you go with him, you will die.
You don't want to come with me. You don't have to.
Because we are about to leave this location.
Are you two leaving?
I'm leaving. Soon. I already expressed it. No one has to come with me.
All right. So, Zex, as you make your way out, whether Suna follows or not, I'm sure they'll let us know in the next couple seconds.
Yeah, I'll stay behind.
Okay. So Zex, you are alone. As you climb out, you begin making your way towards the south end of the town.
Stealthily, preferably.
Okay, roll me a stealth check.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay. As you move out there, you make your way back towards the familiar 500-foot gap.
Mm-hmm.
You peek between the buildings. You can see the guards that are there have switched, although they're at the same amount, two facing the town, two facing away. The Ox have woken up, and you can see at this point they're tearing into some part of like a smoked, like a smoked meat of some kind, which is odd. Next to them, you can see men roasting meat over the fire, kind of turning it. And at this point, you can see the foreman still on his cart, not Rem's, with awake, the whip latched onto his belt, looking out towards the fields.
How tall is his cart?
His cart's pretty standard. It adds on an extra 5 feet to his height.
Could I theoretically, from the side of the cart, reach up and grab his whip?
Not where he's standing now. You'd have to get up into the cart.
Okay, so I'm assessing the situation. Could I get on that cart without making too much noise, theoretically, while invisible?
You don't know. You can certainly try.
That's such a loaded statement. All right. I can go 500 feet in less than an hour. Yeah.
I believe so. So,
I'm casting invisibility on myself and then going out.
okay. Your movement speed is 30.
Yes, and I'm dashing.
Okay. So, make me another stealth check.
Do I get advantage?
You do.
Awesome. That is all I needed was advantage. 30.
30. As you make your way out there, you can see the guards kind of scanning between as you see their eyes pass over and through you. As you make your way slowly, you can hear the sounds of the ox just tearing flesh from whatever carcass they're pulling apart. And you eventually, slowly, make your way to the foreman.
Okay, now that I'm closer, can I assess how difficult it would be to get up into that cart and close enough to grab the whip?
So it's a wooden cart that you'd have to climb into. It's seeing whether the cart is in any form not creaky. You'd be betting on that. How secure his whip is.
I don't need to get it off his body, I just need to grab it. I think.
You think.
Let me double check.
Stealing implies it separated itself from his body.
If I grab it and yank with all my might and then immediately dimension door away, I'm sure I could get it off.
If you rip it off his body, then yeah. But if it's connected, technically won't go with you.
Where's my dimension
Because
door?
it would be connected to him and he is not willing.
Mm-hmm.
You could stealthily take it off of him and then just stealth away again, but I'm not here to tell you that. I want to see what happens. And am I a piece of shit for saying I want to see it go south? Because I kind of want to see how bad it gets.
Okay, so can I make a perception check to try and get a feel for if the cart would, be creaky? Because, when you look at something, you can kind of get a general sense of
Sure.
what condition it's in.
Sure.
18?
18. The cart looks old and weathered. There is a good chance it would creak. It'd be seeing how lightly you can step, and if he'd not understand that there's someone invisible there.
If I step lightly enough, could I theoretically be okay?
You can try.
I'm going to try.
All right.
Can we get a battle map?
That would be dope.
I think a battle map would be too nice in this situation.
What?
It
Really?
might turn into one.
In this situation, there's only a couple feet to move. However, I would like you to make... I'm going to have you make one final stealth check for me before you can get up to him as you climb.
I got a natural 20.
Okay.
31.
31. Okay. As you slowly, ever so slowly, creep up onto the cart. You don't hear it make sound. You watch for the older pieces of wood, kind of trying to judge where each of them are. Your feet one in front of the other, sliding across the surface. As you are now within 5 feet of the foreman, you can hear his... Right. Hear him slightly mumbling to himself under his breath. The, kind of frigid air coming out of his mouth as he breathes. Sneezing again. What would you like to do?
How firmly attached to his waist does the whip look?
You can see it. It is clasped onto the belt. Not with a metal clasp. It seems like it's one of those ties where it's a small bead that hooks onto it. So there's a leather loop and then a bead tied onto another end, and the leather loop goes over the bead and it keeps it together.
Mm-hmm. How difficult does it look to undo? Like relatively simple.
It's simple. The challenge wouldn't be undoing it. The challenge would be undoing it without being seen.
So like sleight of hand style thing. I can do
Probably.
that. Hit me with it. I'm gonna try.
Okay. So you're going to try and steal the foreman's whip off of his waist.
So before I do this, I want to make it clear that at the slightest inclination that he knows what's going on, I'm dimension dooring away.
You are either holding the dimension door action or you are trying to pull it off of him.
You can't be prepared to do something
You can be getting ready,
without like.
but it's not a, you can't, you can be like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do if this happens, but you still have to reach and pull. You can't cast the spell and be pulling it off because you have to be beginning to cast it.
If your sleight of hand is enough, it should be okay.
Well, what I'm saying is like, so I have the same sleight of hand as I do stealth.
If you dimension door, they're gonna know. If you get it off his body and like quickly tuck it away, it'll turn invisible like you, but then you have to get away.
Mhm.
So in order to do this the way that you want to, you're gonna need at least a 25.
I think I can do a 25.
You're going to need at least a 25 to pull this off.
I'm gonna give it a go. I'm gonna try
if this doesn't
and
work,
do it.
you might die. But
Now that we have Helminia's racing odds out of the way, if you're gonna try to take it off, make me a sleight of hand check.
Before he announces it, can we make bets? Can we make bets? Can we make bets?
Do what you're gonna do, I guess.
Suzanne, Alpha, what are you betting on here?
I'm just gonna DM you what I rolled, Jacob.
Does he get away with this?
I think they want to stay out of this.
I love playing a talking game with people that don't talk.
Okay. Zex. Ever so slowly, you begin prying the whip. Ever so slowly, and you see him kind of like shuffle a second, but you're not sure, and you wait a second, your hand's still on the whip tensely. So you undo the strap, slowly grab, and then as you begin pulling, he turns to the right, and you move with him, using this momentum as he turns to pull the whip off of him. It's in your hand. What are you doing?
Oh, I have my mic muted. Does he look like he noticed?
As you kind of pull it off, he turned, which startled you a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't see him notice.
Okay, I want to get back off this cart.
Okay.
Do I need to do another stealth for that?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, so I'm going back off the cart and I want to leave as fast as I can. No, I want to, if I recast invisibility on myself, will it flicker?
Yes, it will.
How long have I been invisible?
You've only been invisible for like, since you started, it's only been like maybe 20 minutes of you doing this.
Okay, that's good enough. I'm gonna leave.
Okay, now I'd like you to make a stealth check.
Advantage still?
Mm-hmm, because you're still invisible.
23.
23. At this point, as you're walking away, maybe halfway along, you hear a son of a bitch. And you kind of like look around and you can see the foreman kind of palming his end, palming his waist, kind of looks around. I swear to God. And you see him just kind of like looking around the cart.
How far away am I at this point?
You're about like 200 feet away from him.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
And yeah.
Yeah.
You move away slowly. You, behind the cover of the houses, I assume,
Mm-hmm.
you look at a newly acquired whip.
Let's go. I'm gonna head back to the hideout. If they're not there, I'll go in my ring, I guess.
Okay. Are you guys in the next like couple hours or something? Is there anything you guys wanted to do?
I wanted to try to move away from here, but
Anything specific?
somewhere not here.
It's the opposite of specific, sure, but
Just somewhere that we can hide for one more night. Somewhere that you don't think they'll be able to find. Somewhere that I can seal off the main entrance and we won't suffocate.
right. So, I assume you're asking Mordak.
Yes.
Well, there's plenty of houses to go into, but the problem is if you can seal it, and it's not airtight, this can still push their way in, you know. It's not... there's never going to be something as concealed and as safe as you want. It's unattainable.
We just need somewhere different.
That is fine. We can, from here, there is... We can't go to the tavern. We can't. You moved... No, the blacksmith's is probably compromised. There's a, storage, like barn house type of thing in the town. Old, rundown, they don't use it anymore. It'll be drafty, but it'll work if we're quiet. This is only a couple miles from here. Fair?
It's that or Selman's house, so
I do not think Selma's house is good. I think the blacksmith is better than that.
we made too much of a ruckus there, so.
I believe we've made too much ruckus everywhere.
Well,
Right.
we're not professionals about this particular thing.
Don't worry about it. So, first things first, moving the children, moving everyone, not getting seen, and we'll have to figure that out. So, pack up what we need, and we'll figure out how to move everyone. You say one more day.
One more day to deal with the foreman, and then when we deal with the foreman, I can get to my cart. And then if I can get to my cart, we can kind of get a lot of everyone outside of the town, and we can camp outside of town.
You have a lot of faith in your cart.
I have faith that it's not in town.
All right. I'll start backing. The movements around as he and Elise began gathering the girls and different like supplies, as people taking only what they can carry. You all begin to consolidate and ready your stuff as you prepare for wherever you're going next. And that's where we're going to end the session for tonight, guys. Oh. You guys are insane.
You know what? I had no faith in him. But you know what?
I don't
It was
need your
funny as
faith.
fuck.
Oh, I don't have faith in any of you guys anymore. Oh my god. Oh.
Glad we're all
Listen,
on the same page then.
Worth it.
me and Suna just got all oiled up this session. That's about it.
That's
okay?
about it.
We got nice and oily.
That's about it.
I
That was
clipped
a
it.
good-
Did you watch the
That was
clip?
a good time.
Oh,
That was a good time, Gilgamesh.
I clipped it. It was so good.
oh my gosh.
I'm mildly curious. What was the DC on that snag?
I don't want to say.
You,
Would you
how
roll?
many?
What did the
You
foreman
clipped
roll?
What did Zex roll?
It's up to you. I told you what I rolled. I don't care if they know. But like I said, it's up to you.
I rolled a 28.
Then it was about 25. Then yeah.
You think?
Probably not. It probably was a bit lower, but I'd say conservatively 25 is about where you want to be to not die.
I don't know. You're getting bolder with trying to predict where I'm at, like what I'm setting stuff at.
Not what you were setting it as, more of that's the bare minimum of what I want to get to feel comfortable, you know? Look, if anyone was gonna do it, the only one to be able to do it was him.
And thank you, Znader, for the follow. How many? I don't know.
What does this mean?
I have no idea what that means, Znader.
What does what mean? I'm not in.
Oh.
2 million bits.
20 million.
This is what it is. We try to get bought out from the chat right at the end of the stream. Question mark. I don't know what you're... Zader, I don't know.
Say it or repeat.
Zader, repeat. But
What's this guy?
this was insane. You guys were how many? I think he's just trying to get me to nuke the stream. Oh.
20 million.
I just watced that clip.
I'd
How
close
many-
it. I'd
and-
close
oh
it
my
for
God.
I'd close it for a
Did you
crisp,
lose
like
it?
20,000.
Just.
Or was it? Yeah. Is that? I think 20,000 is $20 worth of bits. But yeah, no, you guys were nutty. First you all, just this was another streaming, just another like scream match between all of you.
The thing is, it didn't have to be this way, but I genuinely want to know. Like, I'm asking James as a person.
Mhm.
Tell me why you would choose to fight Rem on this. Out of all the things in the world to want to argue with Rem about, you chose literally their bread and butter.
It felt too important to Zex to just wing it when you said you weren't entirely certain.
But I was certain it wouldn't kill
See,
her.
that's just it though. Any amount of uncertainty for him was too much. So he didn't want to support it and then have it go wrong and then you know, like, you know,
It's not like Daron's our friend.
Darren's Gilgamesh's friend, and the whole reason we are here is because of him.
Let Gil tell the story. He isn't.
All right. It's I don't know. It's been a while since you guys have had that intense of a yelling match. And I'll always say Rem is very, very willing to cast spells at their teammates.
Am I a bad person for it?
I'm finding that Rem always has to be right.
Yes.
That's true.
Is becoming harder for Zex to deal with.
It's becoming harder for Rem to deal with Zex. Like, we fell into a good rhythm, and now you're like, I don't think you know anything about the... Look, if it was about anything...
It was not a thing
Look,
of, I don't think you know anything about this. It was a thing of, you're not certain. I think we should check.
You've never cared about certainty. I don't think that it's certain enough, and you literally went out and risked your life to get a whip. I don't want to hear you talk about certainty. Like, you made just as much a risky choice as I did.
I was confident that I could do it.
I was confident I could do it.
See, that's the difference. You were confident, but that wasn't good enough for Zex.
And you were confident, and it wasn't good enough for me. But I
And
let
I
you
still
do it
did
because
my
I don't
thing.
care if you go off and die.
Glad we're on the same page.
Look, the best part of the session is, was this good for you?
Dude, I just watched that again and you fucking lost it.
I really did, because it was so good. It's just the way you sound so tired. You're like, is this what you wanted? Was this good for you? Just deadpan tired. I'm like, no.
This was an unnecessarily rough session. I don't know why.
God.
Look, Zex is not having faith in Rem, and Rem is just getting upset.
Zex has his reasons for not having faith in Rem.
And if you don't want to have faith with me, you don't need to be around me.
It's a very thing.
I'm also not leaving, though.
And
Zex
I'm not
doesn't
leaving
wanna
either.
leave, so we're stuck.
We're stuck until I kill you. Maybe I am lawful evil.
No, I don't think it's lawful anymore. I just think it's evil. Jesus Christ. No one wants. Okay, I have to put my foot down and say, no one goes, this is just gonna go until I kill you, and walks away the better person.
It will.
I don't think
It's gonna go. It's gonna go until one of us dies, and it's not gonna be me.
I don't
because my
care if
killing
it's gonna
magic is
go
better.
until one of them dies. It's the person who says that is not going to be the winner at the end of the day. Is not going to have the moral high ground.
Look,
that is what I'm saying.
I am not a good boy.
My thought process is the rest of the party going to be okay with it if Rem just flat out kills Zex for questioning him?
I wouldn't flat out kill Zex for questioning me, because your questions are valid. You were well within your right.
You're just gonna give him a really good scolding.
More or less.
Zex is just getting super tired of all of it because he feels like Rem is being too controlling.
All right.
And I don't know if anyone else feels the same way.
All right.
Look, I'll leave this party right now.
I have a question.
I will not show up next Thursday. Is this what you want, James?
Well, I'm just trying to explain how Zex is feeling.
Do you want me to not show up next Thursday?
All right.
No, I would hate it if you didn't show up next Thursday.
Thank you, everybody, so much for watching our dysfunctional family of idiots. We have been joined here by Helminia, James, Alpha, and Suzanne in their turmoil against not only the world but each other. My name is JC. I am the Dungeon Master for this game, and we have fun either way, whether we're yelling, whether we're fighting, or whether for some weird reason we're getting along. Make sure that you're following if you're not. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube to get all of the VODs so you can make sure that you're caught up on the campaign. My name is JC one more time. Have a wonderful night, guys. Take care of yourself. Bye.